radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. It's a dig. It is out of here. The all-time home run list.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. 30, he's got 40, something. 50. He's got it. 40. He's got it. 20. 10. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown. Heights. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
Sports Radio. It's the greatest sports talk show host in the business. The dynamic duo. Your host, John Intel and Daniel Mercado.
What's going on, everybody? Last Wednesday of the month, 4/28 here in April. A beautiful 85-degree weather in sweet New Jersey. You listen on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, simulcast on Facebook. This is My Sports Radio with your boys, John Intel and Daniel Mercado. And we do have a guest in studio today. Big Pat Langston is up from sunny Florida. Well, except for middle of the day when it rains every day, right? But sunny 80% of the day.
Yeah, 80% of the day until about 3 p.m.
80% of the day until 3 p.m. But, Pat, what's
Can't
going
get mad
on,
at
buddy?
that.
Not much, man. Glad to be here.
Can't get mad at that weather. Can't get mad at that weather. Absolutely great to have you, Pat. You know what I mean? And I feel, I got to shout you out because I feel like you came all the way from Florida. You traveled the entire East Coast to get to sweet New Jersey. And John said, hey, we have Big Pat Langston here, like you're here every day. So I wanted to give you an introduction like, Big Pat Langston. I just feel like your name requires that, you know what I mean, when you call that out. So, there you go. There's a little bit better introduction. I feel like you earned, with the trip all the way up.
I appreciate that.
No doubt, bro. No doubt.
I mean, it was only 2 hours, but I mean.
No, listen. Talk to me, Goose.
You know what he's upset about, guys and girls? He's one-upping me, which is fine. It's okay. You started early. He's one-upping me, but I'd like for everyone to take a look at the chair I'm sitting on, the chair he's sitting on, because Big Daddy Cool Diesel's in the big chair, and you're in the little baby chair. So
okay.
Don't worry about it, brother. Let's get rocking and rolling. Listen, we
all know you got to overcompensate.
If you're in the
somehow.
big chair, he's in the little chair. I'm in the non-existent chair. Okay?
Yeah, you know what I
Pat's
mean?
sitting on the stool. Listen,
am.
guys,
Easy.
we are
Barstools.
We are one day away from the NFL draft.
John, it is Draftacular Wednesday.
Draft? That's a new Wednesday.
That's a new Wednesday. It's
100%.
Draftacular Wednesday.
Did you coin that?
I don't know. I might just coin that right now.
Oh, that
Nice.
could be big. Okay.
Here we go.
It would have been good to get me that ahead of time. Take
You know
a
what I
little
mean? Talk to you
vacation.
later. How you doing? How you doing?
How you
You know
doing?
what I
How
mean?
you
Would've got
doing?
that day off. You would have been at the draft.
We would have been at the draft.
That'd have been smooth.
I don't know if the wife would have liked the fact that I was at the draft,
Yeah.
but we would have been at the draft.
I think my wife would have been just fine. This is my job. I think they would have had an issue with me taking
Exactly.
off extra time. You know what I mean?
I like that.
It's all right. I mean,
Listen.
shout out to Hudson Hyundai though for always working it out for me so I can make sure we can do the show.
A shameless plug. I love
Absolutely.
it.
You love
very,
it. You love
very
it.
good. No problem. Listen, let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
Before we get into the NFL draft, which we have to, we need a lot of time.
I don't know.
right?
Yeah, bro.
We need a lot of time.
Bro.
Okay. But I just want to ask you how it feels.
I just want to ask you one more question.
I want to know how it feels on the whole for the Mets to be in first place right now.
First
Talk to
place,
me.
baby. I love it. Blue and orange till I die. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait for you to bring up baseball so we can get into it.
Yeah, we'll
I
see how
mean-
long that lasts.
Hey, listen, and you know what, Pat, you got a point. I always talk about it, and I tell John, no matter how many times we're in first place, we got to wait to see what happens after the All-Star game, right? Because that's when the real deal happens.
The real.
That's when we go 12-game loss. You know what I mean? We lose. We win 1 out of 12 or 1 out of 13, and then it puts us back where we belong. But I think
Tell me.
Don't
hurt
New
yourself.
York sports. Well, I mean, I'm sure you smell the smoke, but
do.
I think New York sports is back on the rise. I think we are on the horizon when it comes to football, and I think we are going to bring this back, and it's going to be sports spectacular here in New York one more again.
How do you feel about your Knicks?
Oh, you already know how I feel about the Knicks, baby. Come on, man.
You're all
we're,
in?
we're about to solidify this fourth place. You know what I mean? A couple bad losses, but you know what? Hey, listen, I mean, the first time
We're gonna get
in
fourth
7,
place, but
8
we've
years,
lost.
It's 7 to 8 years. Well, I mean, with the play-in, I think we're in the right position to solidify a playoff spot. Make sure that we get in there. We're still playing the toughest defense in the league. So I think nobody wants to come see us. I think everybody's like, you know what, we might win, but that is going to be a nail biter. You know what? Because we can score in any overtime game we've played. The Knicks have scored over 130 points. When was the last time you could say that?
I can't.
7, 8, 9
know.
years ago?
I don't know.
Talk to me, baby.
I'm
the
talking.
Knicks are on fire, and I don't think anybody want this smoke.
In order for me to talk to you, I need the mic time. Can I have the
All
mic
right.
time?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
may speak.
Okay, so the Knicks, as happy as I am in the number 4 spot, right?
Yep.
They're in there like swimwear.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, I got to say, John never used to like that phrase until I started bringing it on the show.
Oh,
He
okay.
always
It's-
finds a way to bring it back to him.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, I
He
just wanna-
coined it. He
can I-
coined it.
Can I ask you a question? Who's sitting in the big boy chair? Can I have my mic time? Okay.
The little guy
So
sitting
here we
in
go.
the big boy
So
chair.
listen.
Next question.
So as I was gonna
Small
say.
guy
So
in
as
a
I was gonna
big
say.
chair.
You reverse little guy fat coach you?
He did reverse it.
Good job, Pat. Good job. I'm glad to have Pat on the show, baby.
With them in the 4 seed, do you still really, truthfully, don't be a fan of the Knicks, be a fan of the sport, right? You're
Okay.
up here with me. Do you really
difficult
think,
as that is
you
right
really
now?
think that they're going to win a playoff series? You really think so?
I think they win the first playoff series. I think round 2 becomes very difficult for them.
Wow. I mean that's a bold statement, dude. I can't see this team doing it.
I see it.
If the season was to end tomorrow, who do they play? Who do they play in the playoffs?
I'm gonna pull it off for you right now because it's weird because the 7 through 10 have the playing
Yeah,
games.
Right.
They got there's 3 ties, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'd have to wait for the first, right?
2 weeks in a row, everybody lost the same amount of games.
Yeah.
So it depends on the bottom because the 4 plays the 4 play. Does the 4 still play the 5? Is that how that works?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep. That's a win.
Yeah, I can see
That's
the
a win.
Knicks. I can see the Knicks beating the Hawks in
You
the
could see
series.
'em?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hawks got a lot of firepower though. Don't say
They do.
No, they do, but they're playing sloppy ball right now. They're at a loss for words on defense.
Do I get to call him out
Call him
me
out.
out, okay.
early?
Call him out.
The Hawks are playing sloppy ball. They're 7-3 in the last 10.
Yeah.
That's sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7-3.
Yeah, absolutely.
7-3 is a very nice 10-game stretch.
No, but I'm not just because they won. It doesn't mean they're not playing sloppy ball.
What?
You mean losing
A win's a win.
losing close games? No, I got you. A win's a win.
Yeah.
but they're winning close games.
But the
Okay.
Knicks win margin is 2 points.
Yeah. So
The
what's your-
Hawks win margin is 2 points. They both playing the same ball.
Yeah. So they're both playing sloppy ball by your logic. But
I'm not a Knicks fan, so I think so.
But the
Well, that's what I'm
Knicks are
saying
just
by
coming
him.
off a 8-game win streak, right? 9-game win streak.
9, I think.
9.
So are the Wizards.
Yep.
Okay.
They suck. They both suck.
All right.
They all suck.
All right, but have the
All
Knicks
of them.
the Knicks been hotter
In what terms?
in all terms, pretty much all season long?
All season or
Pretty
last
much
night?
all
I was about to
season
say, all
long.
season. Like
After the first week, let's say.
Listen, the Knicks are 9-1 in their last 10, and they're
Talk to me.
6
Say it again.
ga-
Can you say that again?
Can I finish it and then I'll say it again?
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the Knicks
Sound
are
like Ross Perot.
the Knicks are 9-1 in the last 10. I said it again.
All right, thank you.
But they're only 6 games above 500. So it took them a
But
ridiculous
it's the Knicks.
10-game stretch in order to get above 500.
So you're blasting them because they're not holding it up. They're not in first place.
I'm merely asking you if they have enough firepower to win a playoff series. That's
I
all.
do. Yeah, I do. And I think if
But
they
is
play
that
the
because
Hawks,
you're-
I think if they played the Hawks tomorrow,
Okay.
I think they would win that series.
I agree, but it's not going to be like a 4-0 sweep. It's going to be like a
Yeah, no, I mean,
4-2.
it might, yeah, it might even be the whole Sheboygan. But
it might be a
this is
7-game
what
but I
series.
think
This is
they
what I
win.
feel.
I think
This-
they win that series.
I mean, yeah, if your defense is playing well, enough against the
Absolutely.
Hawks.
Now, again, if the way Randall goes is the way the team goes, because if Randall's
That's my
not
issue.
playing,
That's
and
well
I
said.
agree, and I agree with you, and I agree
that
with
was
you.
well
That is
said.
a big issue, but because you can't have guys coming off the bench scoring 20 points, i.e., Derrick Rose,
Yeah.
right? Bullock stepping in big, right? Playing defense and with the 3-ball, especially when Randall was shit in the bed on the 3-ball the past 2 or 3 nights. So
I hate shit in the bed. It's a lot of cleanup.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a mess.
Mess.
It's an absolute mess, and it's hard to come back from.
Hard.
Right?
Tough.
So if you get a game where they're playing like that,
Okay.
They got to limit that to one game in that series.
You think
I agree
Julius
with you that
Randle
if they
can carry you?
play, I think he can.
You think
I think if
Julius Randle can carry you?
I think he's been carrying the team all season.
You know that
because
you-
if you have
in a
this is my
series against
point.
the Hawks, I would say yes, he can.
Because this is my point. You got guys coming off the bench scoring 18 and 20 points, and you're losing.
Okay.
So you got bench players stepping up to the plate with Randall down, and they still don't win the game. That shows you how much he affects the game. And if he stays positive, stays healthy, and he can play that game, whether they go ISO or they run that zone that they like to play, so that they can get back on defense quickly. I think it's a phenomenal way for them to win a series, make a statement, and then move forward. Pat, what do you think?
I mean, I do think the Knicks can beat the Hawks. I think if they go in a series against the Hawks, it's going to be 4-2.
Thank you,
I can
Pat.
see the Knicks beating them 4-2. Maybe 4-3.
I think the first round's a 5-game series, but who knows?
So
Maybe.
you're saying 4-1? 4-1 against the Hawks?
So I'm saying they'd have to win 3 games, so it'd end up being 3-1. Right? I'd have to.
I thought it was best of 7, isn't it?
It could be. I didn't think so, but it could be. I could be wrong. You want to know why I could be wrong? Because I don't even care about basketball.
This is true. This
So,
is true.
Yep.
So realistically, overall, on the whole, okay.
On that note, I want to thank you for giving me the alley-oop to
That's-
be able to talk about my Knicks.
But that's why, because
I know.
we were
I
getting
appreciate
into
that.
basketball last time,
True,
and
too.
I wanted you to look and watch the show again and say, John gave me 13 minutes to talk about the sport that I want to
Gave me
talk
13
about.
minutes out of a couple
And
hours.
once it turns
13
4,
minutes that he'll never get back.
once this turns to 4, I'm out. So
Thank you. Come again.
I will tell you though, what I do like a lot, and the reason why I think it'll help the Knicks defense wins championships, right?
Yep.
And I think Nerlens Noel is playing very good
My
defense.
guy, the unsung hero.
Yes, a very good defense. And the reason why I'm saying that,
Great point.
it's not as if I'm a basketball savant. It's just every single time I'm listening to a sports anchor, someone on ESPN, wherever it may be, they're always talking about Nerlens Noel stepping up, making a key block at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
And I think defense wins championships. But I made a promise. It's
He does them in the
it's-
clutch.
It's 4-14, so basketball's out.
Next.
Next, we're going baseball.
Uh-oh.
Baseball.
Okay.
Do we have to?
Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and we gotta do. What time is it? 4:14. Oh yeah, because we're gonna
God.
go off the rails a little bit, then we're
Yeah.
gonna bring it back, and this draft is gonna be crazy.
So hold on.
Okay.
Baseball.
Bring it
Hold
back
on.
in.
Reel
Bring
it
it back
in,
in. Reel it in. Reel it in.
Take a deep breath. Okay, here we go. Baseball. Our Mets are in first place. Would you 9-8 is very tough to say. I'm a very big believer of this. I'm telling you, game after game, I'm having a harder time believing we could sustain this because our offense is anemic.
But
Please tell me there's hope. Go ahead.
John,
That was a very loud butt.
it's always a big butt when it comes to the Mets.
They can't lie, big butts.
Big butts don't lie. That's right. Neither do the hips, baby.
That's no.
Mesma.
I like big butts.
That's right.
But they can't lie.
And they cannot lie.
Go ahead.
Oh, my God.
And some other brothers might deny.
Thank you.
But
Very well said, MC.
thank you. Thank you. Come again.
DMCA strike.
Easy. All right. So when you talk about these Mets, all right. So our rotation, sickest starting rotation in the league. Can't complain. I mean, again, we talked about Peterson. Kind of had another loss last night. Tough game, but he kept it close. It wasn't like a breakout game where he scored 10 runs. It was 10-1. I think the first game you called it. You told me to pump the brakes, Dan.
Pump 'em.
We're gonna have Peterson for a little while. We're gonna see what happens when Syndergaard gets healthy, right? Once he's back in the lineup, then maybe we can move some things around, make some trades, right? I still think that Peterson's the guy that goes if Syndergaard comes back healthy. I still think that. I'm still on that notion.
But tell me about our offense. I don't care about the
No.
you wanna know what?
Here we go,
Okay.
because this is where I'm going to.
Okay.
The mid-relief is what we usually worry about. Mid-relief to closers.
Sure.
Diaz has not lost us a game.
He did the first week. Go ahead.
No, I mean these past couple days. These past few days, I would say, 3 games?
Yep.
Right? These guys go in there. They're playing. I agree with you. Our offense, it's the bats. I think they're just asleep.
Overreaction Wednesday. Can I hit you?
I think you can hit me, but I think once these guys get everything going and the bats are warmed up and Joe Boo is in the wood of the bats,
I love that.
and we get a little pop, because I'm telling you, Pete Alonso's going to wake up. McCann's going to start dropping more bombs.
Better hope
You're going to
Pete
get
Alonso wakes up.
you're going to get Villar, right? Playing better.
we're putting a lot of stock into Namath again, right? I
Yep.
told you.
No,
that
I'm with
I-
it, but it's just he's one of our big bats.
we hope. Here's the problem. Right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of names with no substance, and it's come to the point where we're doing a lot of praying to Jobu. But it's at the point where at the final at bat, and the guys need to look at Jobu and say, "If you don't help me now, Jobu,
I
say,
do it myself.
F you, I do it myself."
Yep.
Okay,
All
so
right.
it's getting to that point. Here's what's happening: Lindor is atrocious right now.
Well, I mean, and he got
Alon-
booed the other day.
Booed, and
Booed.
rightfully
Horrible.
so. We've never had an owner that spent any money. We've never had an owner that spent over $150 million. He was just given $341 million. I'm not telling you that you need to be the GOAT. You gotta produce though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that our pitching staff is next level,
What are you, 19 games in?
we would
Today?
be
19 or 18.
we'd have
Today's 19, I think.
Yeah, I think
we'd
we're
have 3 or 4 wins if it wasn't for our pitching staff. And the fact is,
I can't say that. We just started this conversation talking about the offense and the bats. I think we'd have 3 or 4 more wins if we started hitting the ball a little sooner.
I think
because that
it-
first game with DeGrom, right from the door, right from the rip, our opening day was horrible.
I think it'd go the other way. I'm telling you, I think it would go the other way. I think we would have less wins if our pitching staff didn't do what they did during some of those games. Keep in mind, we're 9-9, okay?
Yep.
You're talking about a Phillies in 3 games.
I got you. It's a smoke.
The
It's a smoke
Phillies
record
scored
with
4
the first place.
runs in 3 games.
It's a smoke screen for first place. All right, remember you asked me last week, smoke package is smoke package. Paper Tiger. We talked about this downstairs, right? It looks good, right?
Yep.
Like, oh, they're in first place, but then when you break it down, they're 500 team.
Bro, we went to
But-
Colorado.
Should these bats wake up
Yeah, but that's,
and they get it going
Should
at
they?
the same time? Well, I mean, it's still early in the season. I mean, we were all talking about the Yankees, and everybody said, "Oh, Yankees going to be." Even I said it. Yankees are going to wake up later. Don't worry about it. They'll be all right. Because, like we said, let's pump our brakes. Let's watch the teams. Let's see the bats warm up. Let's see Joe Boo do his thing, and then we'll talk about it again at the All-Star break. If we're still in first place, then I don't want to talk about it no more.
I don't think we're going to stay in first place very long.
I'd say you guys have first place for another week,
The Braves are on a 2-game win streak.
and we have a very favorable schedule coming up.
That's
too.
a scary team, the Braves.
Yeah.
John brought up the Braves, Pat. Listen, let me tell
Acuna's
you,
a beast.
monster.
485-foot home run last night. 488.
Absolutely.
Tom Blake asked a very good question.
Talk to me, Tom.
Does Colorado trade Story at the deadline finish the season with minor leaguers? And he wants to know what mascot costume we get in exchange for Story. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even think you get a mascot. I think you get a bag of peanuts.
You might get some barbecue chips.
But my question is even furthermore,
Who's
do
gonna
they trade
for
Story and Blackman?
him? Yeah, I think that happens in a
They
package
clean
deal.
house, correct?
I think that but it's going to happen in a package deal. It's not going to be. Nobody's going to want just the one without the others.
A lot of people tuned in, by the way.
Absolutely.
Johnny Butter,
Absolutely.
Stephen Hinchman, Tom
Shout
Blake,
out to our
Glennie
fans.
Freeman,
Absolutely.
Ian Mercado, Harry Chaz. What's going on? Jason
on?
Talara. Who else we got in here? Mike Yeager.
Casey
Wow,
Smith in the
a
building
lot
too.
of Casey Smith in the
Casey
building. Brad
Smith.
Evans, Terry Simon. A lot of people.
Absolutely.
A
Shout
lot
out
of-
Terry Simons.
It's amazing how many people will tune in and just look at our ugly faces.
Absolutely.
That's
And
dedication.
listen to your horrible voice.
My voice is on point.
I don't know about that.
No. It's the best in the biz.
I don't know.
Shaky.
By the way,
I mean, the words that are coming out of your mouth, absolutely. I'm with it.
I shouldn't
I'm with
open
it.
my mouth there, but I know I'm going to regret it.
by the way, sitting
ahead.
next to me, these two guys, this is Skip
Absolutely.
Bayless.
No.
and Shannon
Don't you
Sharp.
ever call me Skip Bayless.
I was calling him Skip Bayless.
Oh,
You're
all
Shannon
right.
Sharp.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp. I
You're
don't know.
both the
I
worst.
don't know who's worse.
You're the worst.
I could be pretty
I don't know
bad,
who's
yeah.
worse.
But I'm
you-
aware.
But I can
If
see
you
the
won.
Shannon Sharp. I'm
If
with
you
it.
had to be
I'm
one,
with that
who
little
would you
bit.
be? If you had to be one,
I'd be Shannon
I'd be
Sharp.
Shannon
all
Sharp.
day.
I'd be
Neither-
Shannon Sharp.
if you had to be one, if you could be one person in the business alive, because I think all of us would want to be Stuart Scott. But I'm saying like the way he
Yeah,
presented.
God bless.
But, okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God bless.
So I think we'd all pick Stuart Scott. But
Yeah.
if you could be one right now, that's alive, an ESPN anchor or sports anchor on any station, who would you want to be?
Gumble.
Pat McAfee.
Oh, you know what?
Pat
That's
McAfee.
awesome. That was an awesome answer. I love that show. Absolutely. I love our show too. But man, he's pretty good.
I am, for me, I gotta go Tony Romo.
All right.
Of course.
Tony Romo, but he's a stud.
He
on air.
is.
He is.
He
yeah,
is.
no doubt. No doubt.
You listen to him. He calls the plays ahead of the plays. He breaks things
Yeah,
down.
exactly. If I had never
answer that was that.
I know. If I had never heard him call a
slid that-
football
yeah, I know.
game, if I had never heard Tony Romo call a football game and he gave that answer, I'd be like, oh, of course he did.
But,
Cowboys
but I'm
homeboy.
saying,
But
Tony
Tony is an
Romo is
absolute
legit.
stud. Yeah,
Chris Berman's good too, Casey. Chris Berman's good
No,
too.
absolutely. There's a lot of great guys. out there.
Tumbling.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Trying to get a little. You know what I mean?
There's no way you don't at night. I could, bro, vividly remember being a kid, and there's a running back that makes a move, and when he does it, I would do it in my room laying down. He'd be like, and he gets in a hole, whoop, whoop, and I'm doing the same
And
thing.
he's going another 10 yards, and he meets another defender, and whoop, and he makes a spin move, and he gets all the way to the 9, the 8, the 7. It's a touchdown.
You're like,
I love it.
You're
I
like,
love it.
You're like, what happened to the last 6 yards?
Shawami.
Yeah.
Wow, he was great.
From 9 to the
Classic.
touchdown. There we
Classic,
go.
Absolutely.
Chris Berman, but
Absolutely.
I think if I'd want to be somebody, it'd be Tony Romo in the business right now.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
great.
That's strong.
It's
Still a
good.
homer answer though.
It's a homer, but listen. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal to be able to have.
I mean,
somebody-
it's good that you got somebody to
That's
pick.
what I mean.
I don't want to be Mark Sanchez.
Who are
to
you going
honest
to
with
be?
you.
Joe Namath? Okay.
Hey, listen, I don't mind.
Mark Sanchez. I mean, come on.
I'll be
dude.
Joe Namath all day.
I mean, I guess I could pick like Fred Taylor if I really wanted to be a homer, but he's only in like the local Jacksonville.
Yeah, locals don't count.
Whatever.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the locals. All right, we're out of
the two Utes.
the 2 youths.
Oh God.
So I mean, listen, I don't think the Mets last very much longer.
I think they do.
You think they do?
I think
No.
they may
I hope
fall off
they
the
do,
wagon
but I
a
don't
little bit.
think so.
I got you. I think, and that's and I understand you're going to tell me this is me being a fan, but I think if the Mets can wake those bats up, even if it's 1 to 2 runs more per game,
Okay.
on average, I think they sustain this win streak. I think they start playing well all the way to the All-Star break. You know what I mean? This way they can maybe have a break if they got because they got a really tough schedule after that. Immediately after, a lot of rivalries, a lot of.
He's lost.
I'm lost.
By the way, Glennie Freeman. It's
Yeah,
okay.
Glenn, I
I'll
appreciate
pick
it.
up.
You jump
I'll
in,
pick
you
up.
jump in.
Rich. Glennie Freeman says Rich Eisen, definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good
Anthony
one.
Benn says Kay Adams. I mean, listen. There's
Okay, Adams. Wow.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of people, but
Shout out to Good Morning Football, man.
but the one I would not want to be is Skip Bayless.
No. Well, I don't know. 'cause-
When
Absolutely
somebody
not.
calls you Skip, it's a complete insult. By the way, that's probably going to
terrible,
be
horrible.
go down as a racial term soon. I hope so. That's
It's
that's a
possible.
hate crime.
True,
possible.
true. But at the end
He
of the
might get
day,
canceled.
yeah, we wouldn't want to be Skip Bayless because of how people talk about him. But at the end of the day, did you see the contract that he got from
Holler.
Fox?
Nah,
Holler.
it's crazy.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
he gets
Yeah,
his
Shout
money.
out.
so like
He gets his money.
Yeah, I was
Shout
about to say, there's like you got to weigh it, pros and cons.
Now, Skip Bayless goes to bed at night. He reads all the negative tweets and he laughs and says,
No, but if
"I'm the true goat."
All right, no, because I'm gonna
he
tell you-
pats his eyes with dollar bills.
you know
Yes.
who else? You know who else got a sick deal just recently?
You're going to tell us.
Absolutely, Dan Liebitard. Dan Liebitard got a phenomenal contract,
I did see-
From where?
$50 million with
where?
the DraftKings.
I did.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's going to be doing live with DraftKings.
I did see something about that.
He's got they sponsored his own show, and I love his content, especially the fact that he had his dad on there. You know, doing the Spanish accent, man.
See, he was so Dan Levitar was very good. I used to watch Dan
Phenomenal.
and
Great
Stugatz.
Yeah,
Stugatz.
Yeah.
I love I
With
love I love the dynamic of the show.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what was refreshing about Dan. The reason why ESPN didn't re-sign Dan was because they were going to release some of his production team without telling him.
Oh, that's smoke.
And when they were going to go pull the plug, Dan said, "I'm out."
Oh yeah, that's what you get.
And that's
Talk to you later.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty
good.
cool.
That's OG.
Yeah,
Shout
it is
out Dan
OG.
Liebitard.
So it's that was listen, it's regardless. Actually, I like Dan Le Batard also because he looked like me, just a fat version.
I thought he was just the full figured version. Why
So
you
he
gotta be
kinda
fat,
like-
bro?
he kinda- you
Why
know what I
gotta-
mean?
Why can't you be the skinny version of like you got? You're not the
why
crackhead
is
version
skinny
of Dan
okay?
Le Because you're the crackhead version of Dan Le Batard. See
Now
it
I'm a
that way.
crackhead.
You know what I mean?
I can't call him
The guy
fat
just got
version.
he got $50 million. He's not the
So
silly
timeout.
fat guy.
So timeout.
You gotta put some
Hold
spec
on.
on his name.
Hold on.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
I say he's the fat version of me. That's why I like him. And then you call me the crackhead version of him.
Yeah, well, I
yeah.
can't. Well, so touche, mon frere.
Wow.
I don't know. I feel like one insult was worse than the other.
I don't
Way.
know. Was it?
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
Was
way worse.
Way worse.
Because like you're
know
talking
what,
about
dude?
an
So
addiction to
Obesity's not a
drug.
problem.
Keep in mind-
Obesity's not a problem. I
And
mean,
not-
look
okay,
at us, Pat.
Obesity.
Look at us,
Bro, don't
Are we-
rope me
you and
into
I
this.
really?
Don't rope me into
You
this.
and I are not the people to be talking about obesity is not a problem.
No,
in
no.
this
Hey,
country.
you know what? Obesity is a choice because
Listen,
you know what?
I just
choose
told
to
you
eat all
I
the
ate
food
3
I eat.
times today.
He
This is
chooses.
bananas. Yeah, I mean,
By the way, let me
ate
tell
how many bananas?
too.
Let me
I
touch
don't
you
know, like
something.
3 bananas.
3 bananas? Dang,
Yeah,
man.
it's a lot of sugar, bro.
Potassium too.
You know what it is?
Next.
You know what's going on here? It's 2021. And if I want to cancel you, bro, I'll cancel you.
Yeah, hit the button.
Okay?
Hit the button, baby.
Where's my cancel
Eject.
button? Wah, 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 wah. Cancel.
wah, wah.
Where is
was actually really
Funk, where's Funkmaster
I love
Cancel
it.
when you need him? You're canceled. That's it. By the way, did you see the new Mortal Kombat movie?
I saw the trailer for it.
Oh my god.
Oh my! Oh, here you go.
I wish you would have just said no.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
100%.
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Did you play Mortal Kombat when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Then you'll love the
Why
movie.
haven't you seen it?
Well,
It's
I
short.
saw. I've seen the previous versions of it, and I didn't like them really.
Correct.
You know what I mean? They were really. You know what I mean?
Corny.
They probably would have been better as a claymation,
Correct.
but yeah. So this one, I was
Dude,
just
it
like,
was
you know what?
fire.
Let it come out. Yeah, really?
Fire.
It was really good. It
Wow.
was.
And I got to tell you, we love movies here on our show, right?
Yes.
So we sometimes we go off the rails to all
right
our
now.
listeners. Right now, we're
Yep.
100% off the rails.
100%
Don't
off.
know where we're going.
We don't care.
Gonna find the path.
Do we care?
Maybe the path finds us.
Listen-
It's probably better off for the path to find us instead because this is really getting out of hand.
Everybody listening is also off the path.
I love it.
Exactly.
I
That's
love
why
it.
we're here.
It's a party
Exactly.
now. Now it's a party off the path.
Yep.
That's right.
So tell me.
So
He lost-
all
he
those
lost
other
again?
no, all those other all those other
What
movies were
was
bad.
I
So
gonna
it was
say?
tough for me to watch that and say, you know what? All right, let me just jump into this one firsthand.
Right.
I was like, you know what? I mean, fool me once. You know what I mean? Fool
Yeah.
me twice. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly that goes, but you're not fooling me the second time. I'm glad.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice going to watch it. Ready? And
Absolutely.
To maximize your enjoyability of it.
Because for you to be promoting this thing like the way you are right now, it had to be like really fire.
They gave me a big sponsorship. So listen, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
so,
Kombat, holler.
So
Come here.
they
Okay, sir,
they
that's not the
lit-
line.
They
Oh,
literally
sorry, I had Sega.
the movie the movie
Remember they changed that? One was
Yeah,
get
yeah.
over here. The
Yeah,
other one was
exactly.
come here.
Yeah.
it's okay, don't let it happen again.
Talk to
They
me.
I'll talk over you all I want.
if you're going
That's
in,
my kind of guy.
if you're going in
I'm going in.
to get this elaborate storyline,
All right, here he goes. Here's the back pedal.
you are not no,
Man.
you're not going to get that. If you go into it, it's a video game movie that you want to have a lot of fun. You're going to maximize your enjoyability.
Okay.
The fight scenes are awesome.
Way better.
The characters they introduce, the
CGI's better?
The effects are next level, bro. Sick.
Okay. All right.
The effects are next level. It's all around. At the end of it, I'm literally, I was like, dude, and the one of the main characters signed on for 5 movies, which lets you know. Obviously, there's a prelude to the next one, right? They give you a little at
So
the
there's
end, a
gonna be-
little
there's gonna be
crook
like,
cookie.
I mean,
but it's cool because you
Mortal
can see
Kombat
it.
6.
Well,
Annihilation.
there's like 50 characters, and they only introduced 9, 10, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
something
there you
like that.
So you know that they left you feeling like, okay, they're gonna continue to introduce newer and very dope. Like the way they did it, very cool. And there's a lot
Finishing
of critics
moves?
finishing, and they would say it too.
Finish him.
Flawless
Right.
victory.
Yeah,
I
at
love
one,
it. I love
yeah,
it. Those are the best.
At one point, somebody does something, and he he finishes, and he looks up and goes, "Flawless victory." You know, like it's dope.
Fatality.
It's cool. You know, and then if someone does a fatality, said fatality, it's cool. You know, it's just it brings you back. They took it to the next level.
All right.
You know,
All right, so I'll consider it.
so it's 100%. You definitely gotta watch it. When it comes to video game movies, the best.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
good.
I got to see it now.
And
You said the best.
The rest.
yeah, I mean it's definitely like fan service. It definitely brings a lot of the best parts of the game to it. But don't look at it as like, oh, this is going to tell a magnificent story of a struggle.
Yeah.
No, it's
But-
literally a
but-
No,
fight
all right.
movie.
So you
The
know, what I
critics-
what I hate is when they turn these movies like it's a game movie and then they turn it into like a love story.
no, this
Then
is-
it's like what I
this
mean,
is
one guy
100%
then
a
the
game
queen and then they
movie.
get together and then the girl saves the day with the magical. I mean,
It's-
get out of here.
By
man.
the way, I'm not gonna. The first scene.
See, here's the second back pedal.
No, this is
strike
good.
two.
This is good.
Strike two. Okay.
This is good. It's not
Oh,
a bad.
okay, I'm sorry,
The
I'm sorry.
first
I'll
scene
let you
will
finish.
let you know it's not a love story.
Okay. All
you're
right,
gonna
all
finish the first scene and be like, damn.
Somebody dies. Somebody
That's
dies.
raw.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Somebody dies. I love it.
So
Immediately.
it's a great movie to watch. When you do, let me know.
Oh, absolutely. I'm hitting
100%.
you up.
By the way, I don't know if you're into the Marvel movies. A lot of Marvel movies on the way this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot of movies on the way.
Love the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
MCU is going to
Spider-Man.
be
Let's go.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Spider-Man's going to be next.
I can't wait for Spider-Man.
Dude, I can't. Oh my god.
You're a big Spider-Man fan?
I wasn't so happy with I wasn't so happy actually with was it Far From Home?
Take that
Why?
back.
Tell me.
Take that
Uh,
back.
Interesting.
You-
No, it's
No,
not.
I wanna know. I wanna
liked
know.
it.
He doesn't have to. Go
CGI
ahead.
was sick, and I saw where he was doing it, but I was just like the plot storyline was like it left too much to be desired. I feel like for me.
Really?
Yeah, and then I mean the same thing happened. It's in Europe, and then somebody wants to reveal him. The coolest thing about that movie was when they revealed him at the end, when he reveals his identity. So I can't wait.
Spoilers.
That creates
Well, if they haven't
excitement.
seen it by now, we realize.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it was-
true.
the
That
movie's
is
like
true.
3 years old.
Yeah.
The next one is coming out in December, so I guess.
But
yeah,
the fact
fair
that
enough.
and I mean they mentioned it in the trailer too. So when you see the trailer for the new Spider-Man coming, it's gonna be they're talking about how Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Peter Parker.
Pan's on his way.
Going off to Neverland.
Peter
Yeah,
Pan.
how Peter Pan meets Peter Parker.
Nice.
Start taking pictures together.
I never knew
And,
Peter Pan was in the MCU.
It's phenomenal.
What a
Phenomenal.
dope
You should see it.
character.
He's absolutely one of the
shadow
most,
is
he's
his
one of the most
superpower.
powerful. He's one of the most powerful characters.
Yeah.
But but when Peter Parker finds out that they've
Pick the
revealed
pepper.
his
You
Pepper.
beat me by 3 seconds.
Peter Piper, and they reveal his identity. I'm curious to see how he synergizes his two lives,
Yes.
as opposed to how Batman. You know what I mean, even if you make him the bad guy, he figures out a way to show that he's not. Now he's two different people. And
Yep.
I'm Batman, right? Don't make me go into the bad dad mode.
I didn't make you do anything. You're
Sorry,
doing it by yourself.
sorry.
I
That was
whispered
Big
I'm
Pat.
Batman just to see what he would do.
Big Pat. It's Big Pat. You know
So-
where it's going.
So have you been watching? Have you been since we're completely off the rails? Let's just do it, right?
Oh, let's do it. Absolutely. Because when we get into this football, bro, we're gonna lose our fucking minds. I'm telling you.
Did you see Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Mm-hmm. You saw the whole thing. You see the final one?
Yep.
Okay, spoilers. Whoever's listening, I don't care. We are. I got a feeling that this is going to. The next Captain America is going to be dope.
Oh yes.
I think the next Captain America is going to have a little to do with what happened in Endgame.
But my question, let me ask you something. Now that we know
'Cause they
Sam
gave you
is
that little
Captain
Easter
America,
egg. Yeah, they gave you that Easter egg.
now that we know he is,
Yep.
right? And right after the final Falcon and Winter Soldier episode ended, they announced Captain America 4 because they were like, "Hey, we're waiting for this. Now we're going to drop this on you."
Right.
Does he take the serum to become a super soldier?
That's what I'm
I
looking
don't.
at that,
I don't
and I'm
think
like,
so.
Because how does he keep up with everybody?
yeah, because he can't. He's human. I was thinking that too, and I,
I
was
don't
just like,
think-
if they announce him as Captain America, something's going to happen where Rogers comes back or a separate timeline happens that they didn't think about because he went and did whatever he did at the end of Endgame, and then they show him as an old guy. I can't see how does he keep up?
Well, a lot
Because he's just a human. He's got the Hawk thing.
He's got a dope suit.
Oh, sick
yeah,
suit.
that
Sick suit.
was, and it. You know what? It's comic book accurate. That's what I love the most about it. But I don't think in the comics. I have to look it
And
up.
I don't want to take anything away from his aviation skills, obviously. I mean,
Right,
it's,
of course.
to be flying around, kicking people, and doing all that stuff, and be able to land. I mean, that's great. But you're not
ain't-
like Steve Rogers is.
Superhuman.
Steve Rogers held Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean,
worthy.
yeah. In the
a big
comics, MCU stayed relatively true to the comics, and in the comics, I don't believe he takes a super serum. He's always just the American. Oh my gosh, Captain America, but just as the Falcon.
He is American.
Captain. He's the American.
Yeah,
captain.
I know.
Good
He's.
call.
I know. He's.
It's
I-
okay. It's
Listen,
all right.
I'm a little tongue tied. Okay,
Little-
tongue tied. Jesus.
Yeah, tongue tied.
Little tweezers.
Yeah.
Tweezers.
Okay, so he ends up as Captain America. He doesn't take the serum, and
El Capitán.
okay, fine. I tell you what, I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I loved what they did with Bucky's character.
Yeah,
Yes.
really brought him back into
Yes.
into a much better light.
Super dope. And some of the fight scenes in there, especially the one where the Wakanda warriors are in the room, and she does that little thing on his arm, and his arm falls off.
Did you know that you can do that?
And he's
No.
like, he looked at her, he's like, what the, like, what the hell? It was just overall, it was definitely, it was a great show. And I'm not such a fan of the little miniseries.
I feel like it gave depth
It
to
does.
their two characters.
Yes.
That kind of got stuck to the side of the rail, to
Yes.
the cart path during the rest of the MCU shows.
I agree with that. All right.
So I have some
Yeah, it was the first.
rumors that I was reading about that show in regards to filming. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away earlier
Terrible.
this year.
Absolutely
Horrible.
terrible.
Or in 2020.
Huge loss.
But apparently there was some filming taking place while he was still alive. And the scene where Bucky turns around and says, I wonder when you were going to show up, it was originally supposed to be Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther.
Oh,
And then after he passed, they decided not to use that footage.
oh wow.
So,
I mean, listen, you know that what's her name, who is his sister in Black Panther, is going to be the Black Panther.
Of course.
Yeah, you know that. So, and yes, Baron Zemo. Well, Baron Zemo's character was awesome anyway.
yes, classic.
And the best scene was at the end when his butler blows up the caravan with the super soldiers, and he hears the report, and you see him in the jail cell, and he's got Machiavelli in his hand, and he just smiles and lays down, and you're like, that son of a gun, bro.
I mean, he's a
Absolutely.
classic supervillain in the comics, man. I love what they're doing with him in the MCU.
Yeah, no, he was very, very, very cool, man. Very cool. But all right, boys, you strapped in and ready for some football?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Full on NFL draft time. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now entered the draft room 2021.
The
My Sports
Jaguars
Radio.
War room.
are on the clock.
And
Yes, sir.
on the
War room.
on the clock, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
So now I ask you, slam dunk, Trevor Lawrence,
Lock.
Yes,
lock.
100%. For me, it's 100% to do with his resume. 3 years of being top tier quarterback in the country. I mean, the guy has great arm, good legs, good pocket presence. I mean, he is the total package.
Solid record. I agree with Pat. He solid record. He fits. He passes the eye test easily.
Okay.
I mean, ton of pop on the ball. Can put touch on it when he needs to. Can throw it on a rope at a 20-yard distance.
Yep.
And you know what? His mobility also allows him. What, he had 9 touchdowns last year, right? Rushing.
Yeah.
So I think
he has like that
I think,
sneaky quick.
Yeah, it's surprisingly fast for what, 6'7", 6'6" or 6'7". It's bananas to see the athleticism out of this guy, and to be able to have that pocket presence where he can still move around inside the pocket and make things happen without having to scramble all the way around. I think that is going to be huge for
Absolutely.
the Jaguars and Urban Meyer. I think
Yes.
he's going to be he's balls to the wall. Offense. He's going to be running and throwing with him, opening up all kinds of other schemes, different kinds of plays, and I think he's going to utilize his trickiness at the collegiate level to instill some trick plays and some intuitiveness into this young man
Yeah.
while he's developing. And I think he's a greght person to develop him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a Florida Gator fan, so I
Yep,
have
yep.
a history with Urban Meyer, and yeah, Mr.
Tebow.
I'm sick. I gotta quit Florida. Oh wait, you went to go coach at Ohio State? Okay, thanks.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, bud.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good job. So
Contract.
yeah. So obviously, when he came to coach the Jaguars, I was a little bit on the fence. I'm got some bad taste in my mouth from when he left the Gators, hanging quite literally. But in terms of player relations, any player you talk to about him from Florida, Ohio State. I believe he coached at, where was it, out west somewhere. It was like Colorado State before or something.
Utah.
Utah, that's it.
Yes.
Every player you talk to that played underneath him loves the guy. Tim Tebow will not say a bad thing about him. Percy Harvin will not say a bad thing about him.
Tim
Pouncey
Tebow won't say a
twins.
bad thing about anybody.
That's not true.
Facts.
But I'm excited to see what Urban can do.
I think you have 3 years with Urban Meyer before he gets a migraine and quits.
Yes, I do too.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Urban Meyer at all.
Sold on Trevor Lawrence.
I think no.
Think he's a bust?
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is what they think he is. I don't. I don't. I
mean,
think
six out of 7 first rounders are all busts, right?
correct.
So I
True.
mean, you might be right.
True.
You might be right. It's just depending. Is it the first one? Is it the second one?
So listen, I think Trevor Lawrence. I think they take Trevor Lawrence because you don't want to be the coach that comes in and
Yeah.
doesn't take the guy that's supposed to be the guy, right? Because
Yeah.
here's the thing:
It's showtime. It's
if
for
you
Showtime.
don't take him and he's that guy, you look like an idiot. And if you do take him, everybody said the same thing. He was the unanimous number one, and it
Why
wasn't
didn't
your
you
fault.
take him? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just take him
That's
by
on the
default.
player, not on the coach. in that
Correct.
sense.
Yeah.
You take
But-
him by default.
But in that sense, I think if Trevor Lawrence comes in and is not playing to his full potential, I think that's 100% a Jaguars thing. Because if you look at the Jaguars' history, how many of our first-round picks in the past 10 years are still with the team? Like 2?
Yeah, not many.
Like Taven Bryan and Josh Allen? That's it?
Well, Josh Allen's only 2 years, right? 3 years.
Yeah. But,
years,
I mean, no Jalen Ramsey, no Dante Fowler. Blake Bortles was a bust.
Even Ngakoue.
But the
Yannick.
but
Yannick was a late rounder. He was in the first rounder.
something
that's
something
true.
I can say about the
Third
Jaguars.
round, right?
Yeah.
That fourth round.
Third or fourth.
Something I can say about the Jaguars as an organization is they do draft well.
Yeah.
So the players may not stay there, but the talent is there. They do happen to draft very well.
Mm-hmm.
So James Robinson, and like you said, Ramsey,
Yep.
and Allen,
Yep.
Ngakoue, whatever round it is, it doesn't matter. They do draft well.
Yep.
So I think it's a matter of who can hone in on that talent, develop it the right way, and give them the sense of wanting to be there,
Exactly.
and wanting to stay there, and coming, to Jacksonville as like this is a destination of need or want. So we all decided across the board, Trevor Lawrence number one.
Yep. For
Here's-
sure.
Numero uno.
Here's the tricky one: New York Jets on the clock.
Wow.
Mercado, I'm going to hand this off to you first because you are the Jets fan. Who
Exactly.
do they take? Now, it seems as though Wilson is a lock. That's what we're hearing. What do you think they do?
Listen, from the way we've drafted previously, it tells me it could be a smokescreen, but I feel like they've made it. They've tipped their hat. They've already or tipped their hand to the draft pick consistently. With the pro day show, with the pro day showings, they went to both his Zach Wilson's pro days. They only went to one of everyone else's, so that tells me they see a lot more in him. They keep talking about how Joe Douglas says, he's got a lot of pocket presence. He's got good size, and when he moves specifically outside the pocket, his off-balance ability to still throw the ball accurately and into tight windows is what's keeping them locked in with Zach Wilson as the number 2 pick. I would really like for this to be just because it was such a boring draft last year, for that to have been a smokescreen and they go Justin Fields or something, Trey Lance on the 3rd pick. And I told you one time, I think I made a joke about it on a page about them going Mac Jones with 2nd overall pick.
Oh, my God.
As the second coming of Joe Namath from Alabama, right?
No.
But I don't think Mac Jones has shown enough. I think he's got great leadership, but I think that when you see the athletic ability in the other 3 quarterbacks between Wilson, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields included, I think there's too much physical talent that you can't teach anybody that you see in those 3 guys. I think it's going to be one of those 3 guys, whether it's Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance. I really think Trey Lance will probably go 2nd, or Justin Fields. Trey Lance will go 3rd, or Justin Fields will go 3rd with what we talked about, his ties to the organization.
49ers, yep.
But now, the reason I said if it's all a smokescreen, now he had Justin Fields. We said he has those ties to the San Francisco organization. Where's their last year's head coach and offensive coordinator? They're on the Jets.
Jets.
So that's the only reason that I would say, you know what? There's that 1 to 2% chance Jets flip the script and take him.
You want Fields?
I think he's a talented guy. I would take him or Zach Wilson. I'm not sold on any of them. I actually like Trey Lance better. I'll be honest with you.
So I'm gonna
Playing less games, less hits, less miles. Hard worker. Everybody talks about how hard he works and how hard he worked to try to get the starting position before he transferred. So I think that speaks like miles about somebody.
Okay.
I mean, their work ethic.
So just out of curiosity, who's the last Ohio State quarterback to be good?
Exactly.
Listen, we talked about it. But I think you can't judge everybody by somebody else's history.
You can't.
No.
Okay.
I think you
And if you're and the only thing you can judge here would be the system, the systematics of it, right? So because of how they teach, how they coach, how they play, their quarterbacks don't develop into something or translate that into the next level. And I understand that feeling. But I mean, again, Michigan quarterbacks, long time ago somebody picked Tom Brady at six pick. They said he's too slow. They said he's this. They said he's that. Because that's generally what he's put up, right?
Here's the thing.
But then he turned into something else.
You're comparing apples and oranges. I'll tell you why.
I'm comparing work ethic.
Hold on.
Right?
But
we always talk about Tom Brady and
but-
even other players have talked about
Yes.
Tom Brady as being the
But
hardest working guy on the field.
Two different
right?
eras. The reason why only reason why
facts.
I say
That's
that.
true.
Only reason why I'm saying that is because back when Tom Brady was coming into the draft, right? You had very generic stand in the pocket.
That's what they were looking for. Now
that-
they're looking for mobility.
So that's why I say. So it's hard to compare like when Tom Brady come out versus now because 5 of your 6 quarterbacks are mobile guys. You know.
All right, so
it's-
I'm just talking about how about you can compare that there's a trend going on and that's what people are going to be looking towards.
Oh, they have to.
Right? So if
have
we're
to.
looking at the mobile quarterback, I mean, it's going to be Trey Lance. They're talking about Trey Lance as being the taller Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I've heard
crazy.
that. I've heard that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's if you got that kind of talent and you got a taller guy who can see over the line, make decisions faster. I mean, get the ball out quick still.
So Zach Wilson is what you think they'll do. You're hoping it's somebody
I'm
else.
hoping it's somebody else.
You think it's
I'm not sold
you
on
think
Zach
it's
Wilson.
I think it's Zach Wilson.
Okay.
And I think that's the better pick. Because, again, I go with – I don't want to know what you've done in 1 year. I want to know what you've done in your career. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, 3 years, solid quarterback. Zach Wilson's got 3 years of experience, starting quarterback at BYU. Yes, he kind of popped onto the scene this year, was kind of quiet the past couple of years, but it's consistency. He's done it for 3 straight years. Justin Fields has had 2 good years, 1.5 good years.
Gotcha.
And Trey Lance has had 1 solid year. And same thing goes with Mac Jones. Yes, last year, obviously Alabama blows out every single person that they play, so he got to come in last year and play some reps while Tua sat on the bench. But Mac Jones is, again, 1 season with good numbers. That's it. You have 1 season to go off. With Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, you have 3 seasons to go off of with film.
Okay. I mean, listen, I'm thinking. I think Zach Wilson also just seems like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's very odd to me that 4 months ago there was Trevor Lawrence
And Justin Fields.
and Justin Fields, but Justin Fields was like a very distant second. And
Yeah.
now there's 5 quarterbacks that are all elite quarterbacks. It's odd that they popped out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, that happens every year, though. Every year we have somebody that just pops up and is like, "Oh, this is the next great quarterback out
Yeah,
of you
not
know."
with 5.
Yeah,
There's like
I
5,
agree.
right?
I agree.
Like
Yeah,
all of a sudden you look down the list, you're like,
It's pretty
wow.
deep, yeah. It's all of
Yeah.
a sudden. I mean, you even got Trask as a 7th quarterback. You know,
Yeah.
running around in the lower
And I'll give you
picks.
that. Trask, I mean, last year when he came in
Florida
when he came in for Felipe Franks, when Felipe Franks broke his ankle, I mean, Trask played decent ball, good game manager ball. This year, I've told John many a times I thought Trask should have won the Heisman, and if we had won a couple of key games, I think Trask would have been the Heisman. I think they gave it to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is deserving of the award, no doubt about
Pitts could
it.
have won
Yeah.
it too.
Pitts, dude,
Absolutely.
Kyle Pitts is a
and
monster.
and he plays everywhere.
Yes, wide receiver, slot, lined in close, tight end. I mean,
Off the
anything.
line, on the line,
I've learned-
press coverage, it doesn't matter. The
I've
guy's
learned a lot
monster.
about Pitts recently that I didn't know because I was trying to see, you know, like, listen, when you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you just know that the Cowboys do not draft for need; they draft for infatuation.
Yep.
So apparently, like Jerry Jones he wants to take him to the prom. So So I'm like really starting to look into this Pitts character, and he was a quarterback in high school. I didn't know that.
Yep.
And then he
Yep.
made the switch to tight end.
Yep.
And everyone said he wasn't, it wouldn't help him. He wouldn't be able to, get that big push in his career, and he wouldn't, and whatever. And now, some analysts are saying he's the best player
Yeah.
in the draft, which is crazy to think, So good for him, man.
Yep.
Kudos
I
to
mean,
him.
the across the board that I've seen is everybody has Trevor Lawrence at their number one. A few people have Pitts as their number one, but it seems like everybody has him as number two in the best player in the draft.
San Fran, where do we go?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones also. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking. So now we're going to 4. Okay. At 4, we have Trey Lance left. We have Justin Fields, according to us.
Yep.
Trask, which I'm assuming will be down a little bit, right?
Trask will go either late first round or in the second round. He's not going to go in the
I think
top
he goes
10.
early second round.
Yeah,
So-
I could see early second round.
With that being said, number 4, Atlanta Falcons. They have a lot on their plate. I'm hearing they're getting ready to trade Jones.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing.
I think they're trading the pick too.
I'm hearing Julio Jones is on the chopping block.
Yes, sir.
Matt Ryan, I don't think Matt Ryan's going to be there much longer.
No.
They need defensive help. So now there's a lot for this team. By the way,
I think Matt Ryan is a bridge quarterback this year.
the number 4
Yeah.
pick does not help them in any way, shape, or form.
No.
They needed the number 1 pick with the needs they had.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but I'd be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Trask goes to them in the second round.
Trask to
Yeah.
the
So,
okay.
Falcons second round. I could see that. Yeah.
So
they'll have a top 10 second round pick.
Early
Yeah.
second round.
Okay.
Bro, they trade that. They trade down from that first pick. Maybe
trade
maybe
down?
give him a weapon.
who do they trade down to?
So I know for a fact that the Broncos have made calls to them. From what I've read, they've made calls to them.
I'll give you 3 teams when Pat's done.
I've heard that they were wanting. My God, I'm blanking on who my quarterback is. Locke. They were wanting Locke in a deal.
Wow.
I heard Judy's name got thrown out there. They wanted Judy in a deal. So I don't see the Broncos giving up Locke. Well, actually, now that we just traded for Teddy Bridgewater, breaking news today.
Breaking news.
I
Drop it, Pat.
I
Drop
could
it like it's
see
hot.
us. I could see us trading trading Locke to Atlanta for the number 4, along with our first round and probably a second round pick, I would guess. But as a Broncos fan, I hope we don't, because I don't want to give up too much. Because I don't, like I said, we're not going to know what Justin Fields is going to do. We're not going to know what Trey Lance is going to do. I don't, if one of them is there at number 9, I'm all for it. But I don't know.
Question here. You ready for it?
Yep.
Falcons say, give me Locke, Jerry Judy, and your first round pick.
Not a chance. If I'm the GM for the Broncos, not a chance. Jerry Judy is going to be the future of that team.
I think Locke and Judy would be enough. I agree with that.
I don't think so at all.
I think Judy.
You're sacrificing a position where you could potentially, according to the analysts, get your future QB, right?
True.
So you're saying I have Justin Fields and Trey Lance that many teams covet,
Yep. But
and the Broncos aren't sold on Locke.
yeah,
So-
George Patton is
Jerry
not
Judy
sold
went
on
in the
Locke
fir-
at
Jerry
all.
Judy went in the first round, didn't
He was our last year's first round pick.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So I think Judy and a quarterback, I think that does it. Maybe they throw in a second. I don't think he gets another first round pick.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, why not trade for Waddle or Smith?
Oh, I mean that makes sense. That's a good point. And,
So
and-
you're getting someone's QB that they're not sold on.
Facts.
You're getting a first round pick in a wide receiver that you can get now.
Absolutely.
So why?
I got you.
You'd have to get the 2 of them and a first round pick.
So I'm thinking my 3 teams are going to be Carolina Panthers, Miami, possibly could move up. What are they in 6th now?
Yeah.
So
they
Tua's gone.
traded down, they tricked back up, and then they moved back up to the 4th. I think they're a great trade partner
do
for
what?
them. To pick up either
A wide receiver.
Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase.
Waddle's
I think
Waddle's not. He's not in your. He's not a top for you.
No.
I think he is. I actually like
3,
him better than
but
Smith. But I just think that for what they're looking for speed, youth. They like long, lengthy.
They're all in college. They're all young.
No, I got you, but I mean, I mean, Smith is the faster one, I believe, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Waddle has the history of injury, right?
Yes.
And,
Big time.
and Miami has started to pump the brakes on players that have been injured in their previous years.
I have to say, you can't go wrong with either an LSU wide receiver or an Alabama wide receiver.
Facts.
You really can't.
So I think the fact that the three top wide receivers are out of both colleges, I think you sort of flip a coin and just say, let's roll.
Yep.
And it's odd to say that, right? Like
A little bit.
you're looking at and you can see, like, for instance, Rashawn Slater coming out of Northwestern, offensive tackle. I don't really know of many Northwestern players that like hit a home run in the NFL. So you look at this, and
They
you're
have a
like,
couple linemen, don't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say
No,
they're like a lineman.
They're like a lineman.
You.
Yeah.
only
lineman
because
you.
I didn't know it was that they were that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Northwestern is like they just produce big, husky
Big
linemen.
boys. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Like
mean,
them in Wisconsin. Like you're guaranteed to get at least a solid starting lineman.
how about like a TCU for defense? I've only heard of TCU for wide receivers or
I've
running
heard-
backs.
Yeah, with LaDainian Tomlinson. But
Yeah.
isn't there like a DN in the league from TCU?
I mean, I'm sure there is.
But no, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I thought there was a DN,
Okay.
a starter that was pretty good that came out of TCU.
All right, so let's assume here. Give me a final. Falcons do what? Number 4.
Falcons trade down.
Trade down. Falcons.
Falcons don't trade down; they take Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. I think.
And they can't go wrong with that either.
No.
Especially if they get rid of Julio Jones.
Yep.
Imagine Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, and what's the other one?
Oh,
And they trade Julio Jones. You're saying?
They trade Julio Jones.
Calvin Ridley.
They got Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, and what's the other receiver?
there's
On
another one.
Falcons?
Yeah, there's another one. He doesn't get
Young
that
dude.
much.
He doesn't get a lot. It doesn't get a lot of burn. But
it'll-
last year, one play, bam, touchdown, first play.
Yeah.
I think that the Falcons. I do think they trade Julio Jones,
Right.
but I actually think they draft Sewell.
Wow. Falcons.
I think that they.
Penei Sewell.
I think that they
Wow.
shore up the offensive line. I think that they trade Julio Jones for more draft stock, right?
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this.
And-
Hold on.
and
wow.
I do-
Hold on. Oh my gosh.
And
Yep.
Oh my gosh. What if they?
I think
What if
Penei
they
Sew-
do take Penei Sewell? What if? Wow. What if they trade down to Cincinnati
Ooh.
and Cincinnati takes Jamar Chase or a Kyle Pitts, and then the Falcons take Sewell in the next pick?
So I don't even.
Wow.
I don't even think it's a trade down. To be honest with you,
Wow.
I think personally that was my next. I was going to say the Bengals take Pitts. So I was Burrow's on.
Wow, that's
on
a hot take. That's a hot take.
Burrow's on. He's right now. He's on course, right, to come back. Mm-hmm. So you have Burrow coming back, who showed greatness his first year. I love Burrow,
Yeah,
man.
he showed a lot of promise for
Burrow?
sure. For sure.
Mixon, Pitts, T. Higgins. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
That's a good lineup.
Love that lineup.
Wow, that's dangerous.
However, that's not who I have the Bengals take.
Who do you have them taking?
Chase.
Sewell. Wow.
Chase out of LSU.
Oh, Lamar Chase.
Lamar Chase.
I don't think there's a reason to, but go ahead.
Burrow to
What do you
Chase
mean? Burrow
connection.
used to throw to him.
Yep.
No, because
They already have a chemistry.
I understand,
a
but-
strong chemistry.
Yep.
if you don't go to the arguably right now ESPN has Pitts as the number 2 overall player on the board.
Right.
If you're not taking the number 2 overall player, then
You're not taking the best player available.
the next thing you're
got you.
doing is filling a hole, which is
It's
offensive
by
lineman.
need. Yeah,
True,
but then you're
right?
drafting by need. And then now after that, you've tipped your hand to the rest, and you probably won't be able to trade that second round pick. If you
Correct.
need to go up.
So the Bengals to me,
I think that hurts them if they do that.
so
Yeah.
the Bengals to me take Pitts, and they go, they say to Burrow, they say to Cincinnati, they say to the NFL, we're in a division with defensive-minded teams. Steelers,
Yep.
Ravens,
Yep.
Browns. Look what the Browns been doing on defense.
The Browns are making moves right now.
I think the Ravens are the best suitors for Julio Jones.
And now, I
that-
agree.
that
no,
could
they,
be-
Lamar
yeah.
Jackson needs him.
That could be bananas.
Yes.
They need him.
That could be bananas.
So now,
That connection.
so now the Bengals say, it's cool. You can line anybody up against us. When Burrow comes back, he's got the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the short line.
He's good. He's been running for his
see.
life back there, but he's got weapons.
We'll
That's why
see.
he got hurt last year.
We'll see. I mean, listen, there's still a second round, and this is a very, very offensive lineman deep draft.
Yes, it is.
What's
It
his
is.
name?
It is.
Greenberg was just talking about that.
Yeah.
Greeny was just talking about that on ESPN Radio. He was talking about how
Sewell,
there was,
Slater, Vera Tucker. You have a slew, especially in the first round. You have a slew of them. You got like 6 or 7 solid guys that can start and immediately
Yep.
make an impact.
There's a big
Vera
guy coming out
Tucker,
of Florida too that I haven't
Darrisaw.
heard that much about.
Darrisaw, yeah.
yeah. So he said there was Greeny said there was 7 or 8
Yeah, there you go.
offensive linemen that he was hoping the Jets would grab a couple of into the third round.
That'd be great.
So all I'm saying
Yeah.
is if the Bengals get the second best overall player, period.
I mean, you
Second,
have to
third
take
round
him.
offense?
That would be
Offensive line?
I think that would be the only logic if they did not take an O lineman.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be the only play.
They always tell you, and you said it best. You got into it a little bit. You take the best
player available,
right?
yeah.
You don't draft for need because you're leaving that talent on. You're leaving that talent on the playing field for other teams to
Yeah.
grab later on. So here's the thing. So now, for me, you guys said who you thought the Bengals are going to take. I said who I was going to take. Essentially, I said all 3 wide receivers are at the Dolphins' disposal at number 6.
Yeah, if it goes the way we just said, and any of us, the way any of us just said,
Yeah. Yep.
absolutely. Waddle, Smith, Chase.
Now, here's the thing. This is where Chase goes.
I can see that. Yeah.
Big LSU wide receiver. Parker on the other side. Tua's got the confidence. And by the way, other than the fourth quarter, Tua was a very nice quarterback. And the Dolphins, I don't question anything Brian Flores does. I've said it many a times. I'd give 3 toes, 2 fingers, and a kidney to have Brian Flores as a head coach. I love the guy.
I love it.
I'd give a lot, right? All I'm saying is, and I'd even give Jerry Jones. And
I think
And
everybody
your-
would
and
give
your
Jerry
cojones.
Jones.
I know, yeah, but they don't work. It's fine. So
your cojones.
so for me, it's one of those things that I just feel the Dolphins look at this and say,
Weapon.
big time weapon. The defense looks good. Byron Jones is a stud.
Yeah, if that defense keeps it
Xavier
together, man.
Howard is a stud. They get at it. Bam.
Can we talk about that Dolphins defense though? Like
Talk
the
to me.
the shock of releasing Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
That one was like a head scratcher
Was
to
that
me.
more of a shocker? Or was it more of a shocker that he went back to the Pats?
No, that wasn't a shocker at all.
Yeah, that was an
Dude,
obvious.
does Bill Belichick always win?
Yes, 100%.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the
Every
Patriots,
time.
bro. What do you mean?
Every time.
No, the shock
wins
was
every
the
time.
shock
And I
was
gotta tell you,
the
that
Dolphins were
defense
like,
is bananas.
yeah. The shock was the Dolphins said, "Oh, hey, Kyle, you can just leave and go ahead and go right back to our division rival and know our
good, yeah.
playbook." No, that's great.
Is that not sick?
That's just
crazy.
sick.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
That's how I feel. He wins every time, man.
Yes.
It's nuts. Okay, so
Kyle
do
Van
we
Noy
all
was actually a
do we
sleeper
all
agent.
think wide
Yeah,
receiver?
he went there just to get the digs on
do
it.
we all
Yep.
think wide receiver Dolphins?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I'm thinking though it's going to be Waddle,
I think Chase.
but I can
in-
see the chase if he's there. I think he's the third. What was he? The 4th or 5th best available?
By the way, would it? Yes, Chase.
yeah,
Third overall.
third overall, right? Yeah. So
Would it-
I can't see them not taking him
Would it surprise you
based on what we just
if-
talked about.
if Smith, Alabama wide receiver, gets reunited with an Alabama QB?
Oh, that'd be
So-
nice.
So
And Tua,
do,
yeah,
Do you
that's
know who
right.
Tua threw the game winner to against Georgia?
You're gonna tell me?
Yeah, Devontae Smith.
See, told
That's
you.
who. That's who he threw.
Absolutely.
the
I
game
didn't know
winner.
that, but I knew that.
Yeah. No,
How you doing? How you doing?
If I'm going by what my predictions are, I'm saying Devontae Smith goes to Miami.
Wow.
I don't. If the Falcons
Chase
do
Waddle
not,
Smith.
if
Wow.
if the Falcons do not
Oh,
get
my.
what they want for the number 4 overall pick in terms of a trade down, and from anybody, I don't see them going online because, like you just said, if you're in the draft, you take the best available player, and the best available player at number 4 is gonna be Kyle Pitts.
Number 7, the
Okay.
Lions. Kenny Galladay's gone.
Yep.
They need a wide receiver.
Marvin
correct?
Jones is gone.
So
Marvin
they
Jones is
need a
gone.
weapon, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Another wide receiver comes off the board.
I'm saying Jalen Waddle.
Smith goes here.
Okay.
I could see that.
Okay. I mean, listen, whatever. I think the three are interchangeable. Correct?
Yeah, I would agree.
Think, no, I don't think the three are interchangeable. I think of the wide receivers, 100% Jamar Chase is the first one to go.
Yes.
I think he's the biggest high point, biggest target, biggest physical specimen out of the three of them.
For me and the analysts, it's Chase, Smith, Waddle.
Uh-huh.
It seems to me you seem to covet Waddle more than Smith.
Yes.
So I am, for me here, I have Chase off the board first as the weapon for the Dolphins. I'm going to have Smith off the board, the Heisman winner, number 7 to the Panthers, right?
To the
To the Lions.
I was
Sorry.
about to say.
So the Lions have a very, very sticky history with wide receivers.
Yeah.
Sticky, okay? Up until Calvin Johnson, there was a 3-year span where they drafted wide receivers number 1 overall.
Yeah.
And none of them hit except for Calvin Johnson. So they do have a very, very long history of failing, but
Tainted.
Calvin Johnson and Kenny Golladay were both home runs.
Absolutely.
So I think they go Smith here. I think they hit a home run with the pick. I think the fact that the Lions are going a little more low key. They have Goff.
Yeah.
Goff can throw the ball.
Yep.
He has no confidence right now.
Right. And not only do they have Goff, they have the Rams first round picks for what? Next year and the year after?
Next 3 years.
Correct.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable with the other two quarterbacks that we're talking about, I mean, we're saying Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and Wilson are off the board. So the other two quarterbacks that are next in line would be Trey Lance and Justin Fields.
Correct.
So if you're not comfortable with them, you get a weapon. You let Goff, see if he bounces back. Because who knows, man? He gets into the Detroit system, he might bounce right back to the level that got them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Panthers are up next.
I think
The
their best game is Thanksgiving Day.
The Panthers just made a trade, right? And they sent Teddy Bridgewater
Teddy Two Gloves
to the Broncos. Teddy Two Gloves.
Which pretty much just solidified, hey, Sam, this is your team.
Sam
absolutely.
Darnold's there now, and I think Sam Darnold has a nice year. The Panthers have run CMC.
Yep.
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. The offense is solid.
And didn't they just pick up another wide receiver too, or a tight end or something?
They could have maybe in the draft or whatever the case may be, but I think here
is the next offensive lineman.
I think here is where Slater goes to protect Darnold.
Yes.
Good. I'm with it.
I'm
I
with
love
it as well.
I love the pick.
Yep. Good
I
pick.
cannot even argue with you.
So we're good at offensive linemen.
Took the
Yep.
words right out of my mouth. 100%. They solidify that line. We always talk about it. You got to build from the trenches, defensively and offensively. You got to solidify that line. They're the first ones off the line, off the snap, and you got to control the game that way. And if you're going to invest in Sam Darnold and try to develop this guy with Brady over there coaching him up, I think definitely they're going offensive line, and they're going with an offensive lineman that can run their similar scheme. And
You
I
have
think
to.
Slater's the guy.
Have
I
to.
think Slater's
Have
the
to.
guy. Absolutely. I agree.
At the number 9 pick, we have the Broncos. So
Big Pat.
here's the tricky situation with the Broncos.
Very tricky.
I'm going to lay it out.
Very sneaky
They
side.
trade for Bridgewater, who has now somehow become a journeyman bridge gap guy.
Yes.
He can step in when someone goes down and pick up the slack.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it when Breeze went down. We see it time and time again.
Yep.
Okay. They have Drew Lock. Drew Lock, every 3 games, shows he has the arm talent,
Yes.
but then disappears.
Exactly.
They have weapons. Cortland Sutton will be back.
Poor
We
consistency.
have
Jerry
weapons
Jeudy?
out the wall
Melvin
too.
Yep.
Melvin Gordon, the
Melvin
third.
Gordon. Tim Patrick.
And who was your third wide receiver?
Well, Tim Patrick's our third wide receiver, and then Noah Fant.
No, I thought you had another.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of KJ Hamler.
KJ Hamler. I thought his last name started with a K. KJ Hamler.
Yep.
Plethora of weapons.
What's the tight end's name?
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant.
Yeah, Fant.
Okay.
Top 5 tight end.
So here
Hot
it
take.
is.
Yep.
This could go either way. I think the Broncos trade Drew Lock.
Bye-bye.
I could see it.
I think the Broncos draft Trey Lance,
Yes.
and I think Teddy Bridgewater starts this year.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
I think that if we're at number 9 and Trey Lance and Justin Fields are on the board, I think we trade Drew Lock for either a second-round pick or maybe even a late first-round pick. I don't see us getting a first-round pick for him. I could see us getting a second or third. Take Trey Lance, start Teddy Bridgewater, and I think Teddy Bridgewater can actually do pretty good with the weapons that he will have around him. I mean, my goodness gracious, he did have a good stint there with the Saints.
You ready for this?
What's up?
Patriots trade for Drew Lock.
I don't think so.
You'll get
I
a
like-
second, third-round pick. Patriots bring in Drew Lock.
I like that take.
He'll play 1 year behind Cam Newton. He'll learn McDaniel's offense. He'll end up being a stud.
Hot take.
And all my rookie cards will be good to go.
Skyrocket up.
Yep.
Draft up. Stock up. Go
Yep.
ahead.
Hot
Exactly.
take. Jimmy G gets cut by the San Francisco 49ers just to save money. Gets picked up by the Patriots.
That could happen too.
Could be also. But
I think that one's a little more likely because of the connection.
So then next in line, if Lance goes there, you think Lance ends up? Who do you think ends up in Denver? What do you think Denver does?
I think they go defense.
Okay.
That's
So
another need.
I said initially to Pat, I said if they were to trade up, I would think it was because they would want a standout inside linebacker.
Yep.
Von Miller's always hurt, it seems like.
well, I mean,
The last couple of years.
When
he plays, he's unstoppable,
Not necessarily, because 2 years ago it was Bradley Chubb with the ACL. Last year, Von Miller had his first real major injury with the ankle that pretty much derailed him for the whole year.
He's still young. He's 29.
Vaughn?
Yeah.
Vaughn's like 31.
I thought Von Miller was 29.
I think we had this conversation
No.
actually on the show.
Vaughn-
We were watching the show the other day.
Vaughn
we
is-
looked it up. He just turned 31, I think.
Yeah, Vaughn's getting up there right now, which is
31's
sad to
still
say
young.
because he's my favorite Broncos
31's
player.
still young.
They're still young,
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, for a deep
Absolutely.
for outside linebacker slash. I mean, let's be honest. He's
he's
a
a
defensive end.
He's a
He's a
defensive
pass
end.
rusher. He's a pass rusher.
He's got till
Yeah.
35.
Bulldozer.
He's got till 35.
Yeah, and then we'll just move him inside and we'll be good.
That's what they do with all the slow guys.
Exactly.
Yep. Bless you.
So I can see us picking Trey Lance. That's who
Bless you.
that's who I think we pick.
Okay.
If we don't go quarterback, we go Micah Parsons from Penn State.
Wow, Micah
Miller-
Parsons.
Yeah,
no,
Micah
that's
Parsons.
a great. No, listen, that's a great pick, and I was thinking that on defense. If they go defense, I think he'd be a great. He can play down close up on the line, or he can play in the back.
Exactly.
in the backfield. He can
And-
play strong Mike backer position. You can put him at outside. That kid is all over the field.
Yes.
There is one player and one player only. The Cowboys are on the clock.
Oh, God.
One. If the Cowboys do not draft
You want to say it all in unison?
this one player, I'm letting you know right now,
Oh, I know who it is.
Cornerback.
I'm going onto Facebook.
Oh,
I am going
Watch
to
out.
somehow rally a protest.
a plethora of people against what you're doing.
Dallas, I'm going to Dallas, and we are burning down the village. We are
And we're
going to
going to
loot
prune-
and plunder and
prune the
hedges. I'm telling you, it better.
We're not raping the horses.
It
What?
better.
Whoa.
But
That's from the movie line.
That's the next
Okay.
line in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rape the horses.
So,
And they're like,
What the hell is this? Gringos falling from the sky?
Yeah.
Boom. Yes, El Guapo.
So
Can I say it? I know who you're talking about.
I gotta say, we do have a caller. So Pat, drop your line,
I
and
don't
then
know
we're
if
gonna
we
take
do.
this caller.
Do we? Hold on. He's gonna blow it up.
I think so. He just blew it up.
No, but look,
biggest
it's
hole in the
very
screen.
mini. Maybe he didn't mean to do that.
So maybe he didn't mean to make it small.
Okay, good.
That's
Okay.
what she said.
Patrick Surtain.
Pat.
Patrick
Yep,
Surtain.
Pat Surtain.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Do we have a caller?
Do we have a caller?
Do we have a call?
Okay, continue.
All right, we'll keep going if he
So,
puts it
so
up.
Patrick
Are you
Bring him
Surtain.
in.
What? Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Who do we have?
it's Johnny,
Johnny
B in the house.
Potty.
Johnny
I
B.
said
Johnny
this
B.
gotta
Welcome
be
to
Johnny
MSR
Butters.
again. Welcome back, baby. What's going on?
Johnny Butters. Bro, listen. We're on,
He's already laughing.
we're on pick number 10, Johnny. This point better be en fuego, bro, because we got 22 more.
Oh, you
picks
called at
to
the right
go.
time. You already know
What
it.
do you want from my? What are you doing? What do you want from my life, bro?
Push
Because I
the
know
big
you
red
called
jolly
to say
candy-like
something
button.
bad to me. What do you want from my life, Johnny?
Would you just admit that the Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl?
No, we're going all the way, baby. No.
that was a good one.
Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Oh,
Yo,
Talk
God.
to you later.
Johnny.
And then you
man.
turned your Xbox off.
You know what, Johnny Butters?
Absolutely.
If
That
this
doesn't
is
even
why
happen on my
you
Xbox.
call every week, bro, I'm in. But there better not be a but after this.
No, there's no rebuttal after that one. I'm sticking with it because my team sucks. They're gonna draft terrible this year.
That's true.
So right now, I'm just gonna jump around and just act stupid with every other team.
So do me a favor. Hang on the line for just a second, right?
Misery seeks company, man.
Johnny Butters is an Eagles fan, correct?
Oh,
Absolutely.
God. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, so hold on.
Philly.
So we have pick number 11, we have New York, and then we have Philly. And I'll keep Johnny Butters on with us so we can go through all four of our picks for the Eagles because we know the Eagles will not draft what they need. But, Pat, we have the number 11 pick, the Giants. Let's talk about this offseason. Kenny Galladay,
Solid pickup.
Dave Slayton, right? Barkley's just reported now to be
On track.
on track
Yep.
to come back.
Yep.
Daniel Jones is there. Shepard is healthy.
Yep.
They need an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Yep.
But I ask you this. Where do they go with this draft pick? Go ahead, Danny.
I think this is where Micah Parsons actually goes.
Defense.
So they go defense, you say?
Yep.
It's all in.
Yeah, I
Defense.
think they have to. They picked up Kenny Galladay, right? So they made a great signing with that. If the things you said are all come to fruition and the team's health is there, I mean, whether the line was weak or not, we saw what that running back can do with even no line, with no whole right side of the line.
Yeah.
Right, because they lost their center his first year, right? They lost the center, then they lost the tackle, then they lost the inside offensive lineman, and it was all rookies on the right side. It was a turnstile, and he was breaking tackles left and right, running for 80 yards twice a game. Even if it was like a Fugazi, I mean, great game that he only broke out on 2 plays and the rest of the plays were negative.
Right.
That's still awesome for what the Giants need because they just need to open it up and get those weapons open.
Vera
With Galladay.
Tucker?
I think Vera Tucker is a huge pickup for them. I think if they pick up an O lineman, and those guys run and he can run block, which he's a monster run blocker. I think that puts them on the map and makes Danny Dimes now a little more dangerous.
Okay, Pat,
Elijah Vera Tucker. Yes.
you ready for it?
Hit me.
You guys ready?
You're going to say Justin Fields or something ridiculous.
Nope. I think the Giants go all in and they draft Waddle.
Whoa, okay.
Strong. I could see it.
I could see it.
And
I don't think Waddle will be
but
able
I
to.
mean, with Danny Dimes, they
but
say
I mean
Dan-
with Slater, Galladay, I mean you got all these. They got a lot of weapons.
but a lot
Shepard's
of these-
gone.
But
I
a lot
think
of these
Shepard will
guys
be gone,
don't make the whole season.
and I think
But then
Waddle,
again, Waddle is injury.
Waddle,
Injury prone as well. So,
Waddle,
I mean, I
Slayton,
guess they'll have a good rotation of
Galladay.
injuries.
CMC. I mean, Barkley. Bro.
I mean, I don't wish it on anybody. Nobody
Right.
wants to wish it.
Right.
But if they got guys they got 3 guys that are all injured in their starting lineup.
Yep.
The most reliable one is Slayton, and he still had an ankle injury or something like that, or shoulder injury during the course.
They're
of
just
the
going
year.
to do it as a
Talking about 2
rotation. They're going
games,
to say,
right?
"Hey, man, you
All right.
play 3
You get
weeks.
to be
You
hurt
play
this
3
week.
weeks.
You get to
play
be
3
hurt this
weeks."
week.
Here it is.
But does that get you a complete game, and does that win them the division?
No.
Because that's what they need.
Okay, well, it's
Because between teams like
it's
Washington.
NFC, South or East or whatever it is.
No, and it's a shit show.
It is.
To be honest, everybody knows. We saw what happened last year.
Oh my God.
But you got one of the number 1 defenses in the league. You got if Dak Prescott comes back healthy, you
Prescott's
got
his brother.
and, Dan Prescott comes back healthy, then maybe we can get a full season out of him and get a whole season of wins. But we got to see what happens.
Full season of Dak Prescott with only 6 wins.
Ready? Philadelphia Eagles.
But if
I'm
you have
gonna-
that, so you got 6 wins, you got 6 wins. Remember, there's an extra game this season. We got an extra game this season, so
Yeah, so
so
they're-
you're going to have an 8-9 or a 9-8 team that's going to be in first place in the NFC.
Dude, we have 20
Right?
picks. We have 20 picks and,
All right.
and 40 minutes. We got to
All right.
start. All right.
Yeah.
So those look.
No, go ahead.
The Eagles, Johnny Butters, hit us with your pick. Mic drop it so we can get through the next 22 picks
Hit
here.
me.
Talk to us. The Eagles take who?
If I was a general manager, I would definitely go defense. We lost a lot on defense this year.
Yep.
So, according to the board right now, the Koromoa, right, from the hybrid inside linebacker from Notre Dame is on the board for you there. You have J.C. Horn, cornerback. You have in my draft, you have Micah Parsons available, Trevon Moehrig at safety, and the other hybrid D end, which they say may be the most athletic, Kwity Paye out of Michigan. What position on defense are you taking?
Again, if it was me, I'd go linebacker.
Linebacker.
You gotta
So he'd go Micah Parsons.
And that's a great pick. I agree with that.
Years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do that Eagles team.
I mean, he'd be the quarterback of the defense.
Instantly.
Is that Eagles team not a dumpster fire?
It really is.
It's
bad.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised they go wide receiver.
I've never
again
seen a
this year.
team. I've never seen a team win a Super Bowl and then just like jump off of
Fall
a
off
cliff.
the map. Yep.
Have you ever? I was bro.
I mean, aside from the
I've
Jets,
never seen it happen in
Yeah, but
my
that was so
life.
long ago.
they've never brought it back.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
A team win a Super Bowl and literally, but from the inside out.
And this is not
Yeah.
to take shots at you,
Right. Yeah.
Johnny. This is just, I mean, it's just facts. I mean,
No,
I think Johnny Butters would agree, even that. I mean, being a big Eagles fan, for them to have not just a Super Bowl slump, but to completely fall off the rails, get a bunch of talent,
Yeah.
and then not use it well, and then fire your head coach, fire everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, hot take. Pat's got a fan.
I got a fan.
Someone just tuned in, and Shane Libby just dropped a bomb on Patrick and said,
Oh,
"I
my
love
God.
you, cutie." Very strong.
Oh, holler!
my
Came
God.
into the room
Holler!
very
Oh,
strong.
it's just bringing that
Very-
fire.
Very strong.
Absolutely.
Shane Libby
Shane,
came
you're
on
supposed to keep that a secret. Calm down.
Very-
very
Libby, God bless,
strong.
baby.
Wow. By
God
the
bless,
way,
baby.
Pat,
That is my best friend of like
I've never
10 plus years
By
now.
the way, I've
All
never
right, well,
ever had anybody drop in to my radio show and say, "I love you, cutie."
I didn't get
very
none of
strong.
That. I didn't get none of that.
All right,
that's
Johnny Butters.
That's my buddy Shane.
I'm gonna
right.
leave. I'm gonna leave
No
you.
doubt.
I'm gonna leave you
God
with
bless.
one. I'm gonna leave you with one thing before we finish up. We let you go and we do a little rapid fire. When all else fails, I want you to remember one thing. Let's go, Cowboys.
Go where?
Nowhere.
To the Super Bowl, baby.
No. You'll go back to like second place in your division. Calm down.
I don't even know if they make that this year.
I don't either.
Word Mercado from his great mentor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What?
This guy, you're sick, brother Johnny. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Love you, Johnny.
All right, man.
Later, kid.
All right. Later.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
We don't have time for you. Ready? Here we go. The Vikings. I lied. The Chargers. The Bolts are on the board. Where do the Bolts go next? Justin Herbert came on the scene. Keenan Allen's a stud. They just lost Hunter Henry. Okay, the Patriots scooped him up.
I got one.
Where do we go?
Elijah Moore, Ole Miss.
Ooh.
Elijah Moore.
Wide receiver.
So wide receiver.
Bring in
Yep.
more weapons for Justin Herbert to throw to. Because their defense is good already.
I agree. That's
So-
a great pick.
So by the way, the crazy thing is I think Herbert can spread the ball around. I actually think that they go J.C. Horn and go cornerback there. That's what I think.
I could see it.
Well, they just lost to Dory Jackson, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think
That's why I said it.
is Chris
yeah,
Harris
I agree.
still there?
That's a good pick.
Not sure.
I don't know if Chris Harris is still there because I know.
Minnesota
But
Vikings.
I think if they're going to go cornerback, I think it's probably going to be a guy like Greg Newsom.
Rapid fire.
Minnesota Vikings on the board.
Okay.
Where do they go? Minnesota Vikings defense was weird last year. We thought that was going to be a strong point. It wasn't. Kirk Cousins, we don't know who he is. Justin Jefferson, stud. Dalvin Cook, stud. Adam Thielen, stud. Where do we go?
Darisaw.
Darisaw
They go offensive line, solidify that side.
from Virginia Tech.
Yep.
Okay, Pat.
I'm going to say Jamin Davis out of Kentucky, linebacker.
I like that pick. I'm gonna say this is where Parsons goes.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
This is where Parsons goes for me. So I think they go inside linebacker. Next is the Patriots. If we're all not unanimously saying they trade down, we're all wrong. You know the Patriots will never draft a first-round pick. They will trade down.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, because if you look at it at this point, on pretty much all of our boards, Justin Fields is still there.
Yep.
Correct.
And if what we were just talking about, Drew Lock, doesn't happen, I see them taking Justin Fields.
I could see it.
And somehow, some way, Bill Belichick gets his way. The guy that should have been taken in the top 5, this will be the story. The guy that should have been taken in the top 5 somehow fell to the Patriots, and he's won 3 Super Bowls.
Ready for it?
Wow.
Who does Washington have right now?
At quarterback?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I see.
Patriots trade down to Washington. They take Justin Fields.
And Washington tries the Ohio State quarterback experiment one more time.
Justin Fields, much better character.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
for
I
sure.
think there's no questions about his character. But the one thing that did come up was what we talked about. I believe we mentioned it at lunch. I mentioned it at lunch to you guys. That he does manage his epilepsy,
Yes.
and I think that might be something that's bringing him down.
Yeah, but it's common for people to, and apparently in his family, it runs in his family that they've outgrown it. So as they get older, it becomes less and less of an issue. So
Nice.
that
Good,
could be
good.
that could be the same
God
situation
bless him.
with
I
him.
hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so.
Okay. All right. Well,
But imagine that.
next up, Cardinals. Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Kyler Murray,
Yep. Did we know if
Kenyon Drake,
is Fitzgerald officially retired or no?
Fitzgerald. I think is on the board, but I think he will be retired.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they
But
signed him to just a retirement. One of those retirement contracts.
I still don't think they pick him up there. My pick here, is going to be Caleb Farley, cornerback. They just lost
Strong.
Patrick Peterson.
Strong.
Yeah.
I think they replace him with a young cornerback. I think Caleb Farley is off the board here to replace Patrick Peterson.
I agree.
Peterson went to the Vikings.
To the
Correct?
Vikings, and he changed his number.
Yep.
He's going to be number 7.
Yeah, everybody's changed their. A lot of people changed their number. I believe it's only just to. All
This next pick is going to surprise you guys. Let's go through.
right,
Okay.
hit me.
Number 17, the Raiders. What's the one thing that's been criticized about the Raiders for the last 3 or 4 years consistently?
Line.
Outside of line,
Quarterback.
quarterback. Right?
Okay.
Trask.
If the Patriots don't trade down and they keep that pick and the Fields is on the board, Raiders take Fields, okay, and shop Carr they shop Carr here.
And I could see Carr if they take the Fields and they start shopping Carr, I can see Carr going to the Washington football team.
And by the way, if he's still here, this is where I see also Bill Belichick
Stepping in.
stepping in and saying, "Hey, we'll give you next year's first and a second, or 2 seconds. We'll give you this year's second, third, and next year's second." Right?
I don't believe that a guy like Belichick though is so high on a guy like Carr.
You know what?
And I know he takes everybody else's scraps and makes
I
them
don't
into
know.
gold, but I
he's not-
don't think so.
But he's not scraps.
Yeah, Derek
He's
Carr's-
done multiple 4,000
Yes.
yard seasons, multiple 30 touchdown seasons with very minimal. Keep in mind, the Raiders have traded. They've never drafted a good wide receiver for him, and the first good wide receiver they draft for him, they trade Cooper.
And then, Henry Ruggs is a good wide receiver.
Now he has some weapons, but I'm saying, I think that
And Darren Waller.
yeah.
I think this is where
But Waller turned into what he is now. He wasn't he
Yeah.
wasn't drafted. It was like, oh, this guy is the
Yeah,
Kyle Pitts.
yeah,
No, he
exactly.
wasn't,
So
you know what I mean?
I'm saying if their nucleus ends up being, they need a quarterback on the run. If they have Jacobs, Fields, Fuller, and Henry
Ooh.
Ruggs, that's a formidable team.
That's a speed team.
It's a good offense, right?
Yeah.
So I think it could happen there. The Dolphins are on the board again at number 18, right?
Yeah.
So we said the Dolphins were taking a wide receiver. We thought maybe the Alabama connection, maybe the LSU was first off the board, depending on which analyst up here you'd want to go with. That's the way they're going to go. I'm still in. Now, this is where I say Darisaw goes. I think they shore up the offensive line, or they take Travis. I don't know how I say his last name.
Etienne?
Etienne.
Okay.
I think because here's what they're missing on that offense.
The running back from Clemson.
Etienne, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think they would take a running back here
I can definitely see Travis Etienne going there.
Yeah.
to go along with Tua.
3 down
his-
back.
His offensive
Yep.
weapons.
Great catching.
Yep.
Great
and
catching ability.
They go
absolutely.
all in an offense. They got his wide receiver. They got his running back. They have their quarterback. They're ready now.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay. I like that.
So what do you think about this? You think that's good?
I think that's good.
I think that's good.
Okay, if Washington stays there, now like I said, I think Washington trades up. But if Washington stays there, we know Washington needs its quarterback of the future. If Fields is gone, if our guys are gone, does Kyle Trask get looked at here?
No,
I still
Doesn't.
don't think so.
he does not.
So then where does Washington go? Now keep in mind, McLaurin, stud.
Yep.
Monster.
The running back is also Gibson, Antonio Gibson, stud. Their their front seven is disgusting.
The best in football.
Yeah.
So now, do they go cornerback, or do they go another offensive weapon here?
Wow, if they add a cornerback and he pans out.
I think they
that
go
defense.
corner.
I think they go Elijah Moore here, wide receiver.
Okay.
I think they need more weapons for whoever's going to be back there.
Yeah.
They want Fitzpatrick slinging the ball around. Right now, he's got one weapon.
Yeah, that was their
That was their
tweet.
whole-
Now we
yeah.
have now we got our gunslinger.
Our gunslinger.
Right.
They're going into the season with the expectation that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to throw interceptions, and they're going into the season with the expectation that defense is going to be like,
gonna
okay,
be picking
fine,
off
you can-
interceptions, yep.
Yeah, you can throw interceptions. That's fine. They won't gain a yard.
Yep.
But I do think they go corner here because Ronald Darby, obviously, no longer with the team. He's now with the Denver Broncos. So I think that they draft a corner, young corner, to come in, fill that spot, and just defense wins championships
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And
So-
if they have a
defense.
solid defense there, I can see them winning that
I mean,
division.
they almost took out the Bucks last year.
Yes. Oh, my
Right.
gosh. If Alex Smith is healthy and plays that game, John and I have talked about it multiple times,
Yeah.
the Buccaneers might not be Super Bowl champs.
Yeah,
Facts.
it's crazy.
The Chicago
And
Bears.
the least likely team to have done it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about a less inept offensive team,
Oh, my God.
offensive-minded
You know,
drafting team?
you know what's
than the
awkward though,
Bears?
and and it must be even more awkward for the Bears. I mean, how terrible they were, and they don't have a better draft position.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's awful.
Yeah.
Dude, they've drafted they had going into last year, they had 8 tight ends on the roster, and they drafted
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember this.
I'm here it is in a nutshell. If Allen Robinson does not stay there,
Which they just franchise tagged him, yeah.
Yep.
they need
He's
another
going next year.
they need a weapon. Tyree Cohen, clearly not the deal. David
No.
Montgomery, clearly not the deal.
No.
Their quarterback situation is abysmal.
It's very interesting.
They have 2 options.
Red Rocket.
You draft a QB or sign a QB like a Garoppolo if he gets cut,
All right.
okay?
That could be
Or-
a great landing spot for him.
Or you draft an offensive weapon, a wide receiver. If you're not doing that, you trade Khalil Mack and you get a complete overhaul of draft picks and hope to rebuild that offense that way. There's no way here you stay with what you got. Anybody looks at them and says, this is a playoff team. I don't care what they say. I've never seen a defense of this caliber wasted
Yes.
like I'm seeing the Chicago
Yes.
Bears defense.
100%.
If they go wide receiver, it's probably going to be Rashad Bateman. From,
If the other
was
guys
that-
are off the
was that
board.
Minnesota? Yeah, if the other guys are off, but I mean, we already called off Devontae Smith, Waddle. I think you called in Elijah Moore,
Yep.
right?
And then he
So-
called Elijah Moore as well.
And then you called Elijah Moore for another one. I think I said Jamar Chase for 2 of them, right?
Yep.
I think we said Miami could possibly take him, or the Bengals,
Yeah.
right? And I think we did another mock draft, you and I, with Rock Allen,
Yep.
and I had called him out to the Lions to develop weapons for Jared Goff, since they did a whole fire sale over there.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if those guys are off the board, Rashad Bateman goes here as a wide receiver.
I could see it.
See it.
I'm
yeah,
okay
for
with
sure.
that. Okay. Next up, Colts. Colts are in a very interesting situation. Their O-line is great.
Best O-line in football.
They have Jonathan Taylor.
Third best running back in football last year.
Yep. Production-wise, I think Carson Wentz comes back and he's a stud.
Yep. I think the Colts need another wide receiver option.
Agreed.
So here's where I'm going to put in my guy out of the University of Florida, Kadarius Toney.
There is Tony.
Great
I,
pick.
dude,
Great
if you want somebody that's got escapability, he's got great route running, and he breaks tackles. You would not think somebody who's only 5'9", 5'10", maybe $185 is going to break tackles. I saw him last year running down the field and have 6 South Carolina defenders surrounding him, and he scored a touchdown.
Can I ask you a question? You can tell me whether or not you think I'm out of my mind.
Okay.
It's without saying.
That goes without saying. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right now, that defense up front, DeForest Buckner, right?
Good. Yep.
Grover Stewart, Darius Leonard
Yeah.
are like your core.
Yep.
Big tree.
And they just picked up a middle linebacker too in free agency, Alex Anzalone from the Saints.
Let me ask you though, could you see? And I know it's going to sound maybe crazy if he's there, and maybe they just say, you know what, we have enough on the offensive line. Could you see them drafting Kwity Paye? D-end, hybrid, to go alongside on the other side of Darius Leonard?
I could see it.
I think if they go D-end, I don't think the Kwity Paye lasts this long. I think you guys would agree. I think he goes a little bit sooner.
But that's what I'm saying. If he's there.
If he's there, absolutely. He's the best talent on the board. But I think a guy like Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest is the guy that goes at this point.
Okay. I mean, listen,
Defensive end.
It's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Defensive end, I'm saying if Kwity Paye's there.
Yeah. I mean, because if you shore up that defense, let's take a look around. Let's take a look around the AFC South real quick. Jaguars, who knows? Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, and that's about it. Houston Texans are literally going up in flames right now.
Yep.
And then you have the Colts. The Colts are going to have the most returners on offense, and this is their division to win this year.
How about who's more nervous than the Texans this year?
Oh my gosh.
Nah, it's nobody. By the way, this is the easiest. It's crazy, but the next one, the Tennessee Titans, there's no easier team to figure out where they're going than the Tennessee Titans. Also, a historically bad defense.
Yep.
Historically.
Yep. Got to go defense no matter what.
There will be a plethora of people. Greg Newsome, cornerback position.
Yep.
Jamin Davis, if he happens to last, inside linebacker.
Yep.
Jalen Phillips out of Miami, out of
Yep,
U.
D-end.
Dude,
Or the other one,
and
too,
we all know.
Rousseau.
We all know that the University of
side.
Miami produces defensive talents like no one else.
Bananas.
So, obviously, I think we don't know who, but we can unanimously say they go D.
Exactly.
Yep.
Defense, 100%.
Okay. The next team on the board at the number 23 pick is the Jets. So here's the thing. I'm hearing a lot, right, about where the Jets are going. I am just going to say they go Najee Harris.
Ooh.
I think they get their running back.
addition.
That's a very nice one.
I think that's a great addition.
What do you think?
I think that's a great addition. I think Najee Harris is a perfect pick.
I think the Jets get their running back,
Yep.
which we haven't been able to say really since Curtis Martin.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
I could see Najee Harris. I mean, I'm a fan of P. Ryan, obviously Florida Gator, but he's a good solid back. But I don't think he's your number one. I don't think he can carry the load of the team. So Najee Harris, and LaMichael P. Ryan.
We also signed Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, you did sign Coleman.
So
But
it's going to be running back by
down
committee
back.
right now.
Yeah,
It's going to be running back by
I think
committee
if
right now.
I think if you get Najee Harris, he's your
I
third
think
down
he's
back.
listed as the starting running back.
Yeah, I think by name. I think it's, because
It's possible. It's possible.
Tevin Coleman to me is like it's third down and long. We need you to go and be in the backfield and
Correct.
run a route or pass block.
I agree with
I'm
that.
going to tell you if they don't go running back, and that's I would say that in my head that's the sexy pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The not so sexy pick, but the smarter pick, I think, would be Quinn Myers, Wisconsin Whitewater offensive guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a big boy on the inside that can move around.
For sure.
I think he's definitely because we got Becton on one side. We need somebody to pull on the other side for those specialty plays, especially if they're going to be moving the pocket. I'm assuming, and this is because of So we were talking about the draft and what they're saying about Zach Wilson, how they like his motion and his throwing motion when he's outside the pocket running around.
Yep.
So you need a guy that's going to be able to pull to run that zone line run
Yep.
scheme, so that this way they can run the little bootlegs. They can run.
Yep.
They can run the play fake, the play action. Once they get that going, I think that opens it up. But that means he's going to be thrown from outside the pocket. I think the guard position is essential for the Jets to build on. And if they don't go with a sexy pick like that, I think the smarter pick is going to be Quinn Miners.
Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers. Insert Trask.
Kyle Trask.
Wow.
Kyle Trask. Because what I'm reading right
now. Great. The offense has weapons. Juju's back. Is he TikTok or is he Juju? We'll still wait and see. Claypool looked nice.
Yep.
Right.
And I think honestly a lot of people are not giving the respect that this guy deserves is Benny Snell Jr. That guy is a monster running back. Let me tell you something. When I watched him play Kentucky playing against my Florida Gators, couldn't tackle him. He has a monster back build to him. He has very deceptive strength, but all the things I'm hearing coming out of Gainesville reports, everybody, the local stations down in Gainesville, Florida, everybody has Kyle Trask as number 1 on the Steelers board for a quarterback. So
Kyle Trask, the look of him, his demeanor, what he does on the field, just smells Pittsburgh.
it does.
Yep.
It does.
It's
Very physical.
not flashy,
Nope.
blue collar,
Yep.
working, a little bit of a work in progress.
Rough, rugged, and raw.
Rough. Sign him up.
Yep.
He's going to Pittsburgh.
100%. I think that's a lock right there.
Okay. Next.
Now, if Pittsburgh doesn't go there and
Sure.
Najee Harris or Travis Etienne happens to still be on the board, I think they go running back.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
I think it's
Connor's gone.
regardless of Trask's level of how much they love him there. I think need and higher level of talent, if they're available on the board,
And I
I
would
think one
agree
of
with
those
that.
running backs come.
I would agree. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne are definitely a higher level of talent than Kyle Trask is.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be an instant
But
impact.
yeah, for all intents and purposes, if we're going this way and both running backs are gone, yep, I think Trask is the only other way to go. Gotta find the quarterback. In the future.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval's on the clock.
So here's the thing.
Oh, come on,
It's-
man. If you're gonna do it, you
it's
gotta
very-
do it right.
It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
odd
Go ahead,
because
rock it, bro.
if Trevor Lawrence is taken,
Which he will
James Robinson, DJ Chark,
Stud.
be. Then we just
Stud.
also picked up a former Lions wide receiver. I'm trying to remember his name.
Marvin Jones.
I think so. Marvin Jones.
Has to be Jones.
Yeah, Marvin Jones
So
ended
let's,
up in
let's say there's a few weapons.
Okay.
Okay. See,
Are you going to go offensive line? Are you going to go offensive line here to protect Trevor Lawrence?
yes. If there is a good O lineman on the board,
Tevin Jenkins is on the board.
you take him. You take him because let me tell you something about our left tackle situation. My God, guy out of Alabama, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he can't stay healthy for anything. So we want Trevor Lawrence to be healthy and standing upright in Jacksonville for the foreseeable future. So if there's O-line on the board and there's talent on the board, you need to take that O-lineman because you got to keep Trevor Lawrence on his feet.
Okay.
We have the weapons right now. This pick is where I would want Kadarius Toney to fall to. I don't think Kadarius Toney falls there because I think if you put Kadarius Toney on that Jaguars roster, it's a good fit, good help to that offense.
Stays home.
Yep, stays home, stays
Which
local.
could sometimes be detrimental to the player.
True. I mean, yeah.
So let's say they go offense. Let's say they go offensive line. Next on the board, number 26 is the Browns. Let me guys. Is there a team?
And girls.
Is there a team? I can call them whatever on. It's 20.
Yeah, but we don't want to get canceled.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, all inclusive, everyone.
Yeah. They.
They them.
So
They, them, we, us.
have you seen? Is there a team with more promise right now? Odell Beckham's workout videos look
You're phenomenal.
amazing. No.
Yeah.
First of all,
he looks phenomenal.
He looks
Odell-
on another level.
Odell Beckham's brain is scrambled eggs. But when he
Number 2.
I don't think it's his
But
brain. I think
playmaking-
it's his emotions.
But playmaking,
Yes.
playmaking ability, bro. There is
Twitch.
nobody in the NFL catches a 5-yard pass and turns it into more
Absolutely.
than Odell Beckham does.
100%.
Yep.
Every single time we played the Giants,
Slant-tastic.
my fear was Odell Beckham.
Don't let the ball get to his hands.
Yeah, Glennie Freeman says you guys hear Trevor Lawrence announcing his retirement.
Man, hey, don't be mad. Don't be
But
mad.
hold on. So here you go. You ready? They just signed Jadeveon Clowney
Oh
to
my
go
God.
along
Yep.
opposite side of Miles Garrett.
Good luck. Good luck, Big Ben.
They had
Good luck, Lamar.
Denzel Ward. They signed, who's a stud,
Yep.
on corner.
Shut down.
Ronnie Harrison Jr. looked very good. Greedy Williams was a little suspect.
He's developmental
but
right now.
developmental.
He's
But
not.
I
He's
think-
not
I
your
think he's,
lockdown.
but I think he's still a solid raw talent.
Yes.
Now let me ask you, where do they go here?
Best available. Whoever the best available player is left at this point in the draft, that's who the Cleveland
Does
Browns
it
take.
need to be offensive line?
I don't think it
It-
needs
it
to be. I
helps.
think by happenstance it will be offensive line.
Yeah, I think so.
And
as
they're
well.
gonna go with a guy. You know what I mean? Like
I hope.
Nor-
Who they go with? A lady? Is there a lady on
the guy from North Dakota State,
Got
Dylan
I
Radins.
identify.
Dylan Radins, I identify.
Got him.
Hello.
Hello.
So, but I think
That's
if they
gonna be
go with this
interesting
guy
walking
Dylan
from.
from North Dakota State, I think that he's going to be a big run. I mean, you had him blocking for a running quarterback, his running back. They did a
Yeah.
lot of play action plays. I think that guy's a guy that can bull people downhill, and he will help their cause at that point with them being such a running style team.
The Browns went 11-5.
Kareem Hunt's still on the team, correct?
Yep.
Correct. The Browns went 11-5.
Yeah.
They add an extra game to the schedule. They get Odell Beckham back, and they sign Jadeveon Clowney. If this team
Two people
doesn't,
who can't stay
and-
on the
and
field all
Jarvis
year long
Landry.
anyway.
but if this team doesn't win at least 11 games again, bust.
yes.
Yeah, I agree.
If they
I agree.
they do not live up to their potential if they do not win 11 games.
Is it?
Yep.
Is this Cleveland's year to make
No.
a push?
No.
No.
To make a push, I think they make a
A
push.
real push.
Like
But
to,
I think
to,
with-
to get the playoffs,
Yeah, Pat.
to get to
Just
the
a
play-
push.
Just
Playoffs, push. Win a game. Win a playoff game.
if
Yes.
you're talking about their best opportunity in many years to win the division and get in the playoffs, this is it. I don't think this is their year to get anywhere near a Super Bowl,
I
but I
think-
think this is their year to win the division.
I think if anybody has an extra $100, you place it on them to win the Super Bowl. If you have an extra $100, I think it's a nice long shot with the talent.
Yeah.
I think you look at this and say,
Defense is strong.
can Pittsburgh falter because we saw a massive collapse at the end of the season last year?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we see Baltimore because we don't know what they're going to do in the draft? They still don't have an offensive weapon for Lamar Jackson. Yes, and Lamar still is not winning a playoff game. I think that if there is a time, this is it.
If Lamar gets Julio Jones,
Woo!
broski.
If Lamar
Broski,
Jackson
that's
gets
gonna be
if,
bananas,
if they
bro.
get Julio Jones, sheesh.
Because you can't complain about his accuracy then. Oh, he's not the most accurate quarterback, that's why he runs. No. The window just got way bigger. It just turned into the patio door.
The
If
Ravens.
you get a guy like Julio.
Number 27.
Yeah.
This pick's gone. They're trading it, correct? They're going to try and do everything for Julio Jones.
They're going to
I
have
think so. I think you trade the number one, your first round, your second round, and possibly even your third round, and maybe next year's second round pick for Julio
And
Jones.
just go all in.
And
I
just
don't
go
think
all
they get
in.
that much for him, but I think you get 2 1s and 2 2s.
Okay, so
I don't see 2 2s. I see 2 1s. I don't see 2 2s.
I hope if we see 2-2s on the football field, we
2-2s.
went way left. So
Yeah.
so the Ravens
Two
Ravens
threes, two
end up
threes.
the Ravens end
us
up
down.
trading this pick. They end up getting Julio Jones. I actually think that.
Yeah,
That's a
and
great,
and
that's a
then
great
so then
hot
the
take.
Falcons
You
are
heard
on the
it first
on the
here
clock.
MSR, folks.
Number 28, the Saints without Drew Brees.
Wow.
And your quarterback options are Taysom Hill and Crab Legs.
Have we ever
Yeah.
though? Speaking of crab legs, have you ever seen? I've said it before. A guy throws for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and no one wants to look at him.
Yeah, it's
Is
crazy.
it wild?
It's crazy.
Taysom Hill, the NFL needs to get smart. The Taysom Hill contract is the only contract that matters.
Wow.
$140 million,
Yeah.
all non-guaranteed,
Talk to you later.
Yep.
all performance-based.
How you doing?
Yep.
How you doing?
If I'm NFL teams from here on out,
I'm looking at that contract going, ooh, that's a good idea.
I say, you know what, Dak Prescott? You want $40 million a year? I'm going to do better.
yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna give you
gonna
400 million.
I'm going to give you $50 million a year
Show me.
based on your performance.
Show me.
Your base pay is 30 million, and if you get over 4,000
That is
yards,
what you
it's another
call a
10.
show-me
If you
contract.
get over 30 touchdowns, it's another 10.
Talk to you later.
You say it. I'm going to give you $30 million base.
Million dollars.
And the millions.
You get to X stats for another 10.
Yep.
You get to the playoffs. Now it's about winning. I'll
Yep.
give you another 10.
Yep.
All performance based. I don't know why they don't do that. Idiots.
Yeah, it really.
Fools.
If I'm
Well,
the
I
owners,
don't-
if I'm the
you know
owners,
what?
I go into the CBA and say, hey, by the way, we're
Stop
not
this
playing-
foolishness.
We're not playing another game in the NFL. I'll pay you any amount of money you want. Show me.
Yeah, but I think the issue is I think the owners would love that, but I don't think it comes down to the players, because what has been the biggest push right now with these NFL players is we want guaranteed money, no matter what happens. So I think that if they could find a way to protect players from injury, I think that's a big concern when it comes to injury. Well, come on, man. If you're Trevor Lawrence, right, and you've been riding this high that you're going to be the next big thing in the NFL. Week 1, you
have protection.
You have an Alex Smith, and
They have
boom.
insurance, bro.
Yeah,
Even
insurance.
into college, they have insurance.
I understand insurance, but I'm talking about
Quarterback wants a lineman.
Right. But I'm saying if you're a quarterback and you go in week 1 and you blow your leg apart like Alex Smith did,
Yeah.
and then you're done. That's it.
Thank you. See if that's what I'd be screaming. By the way, if I'm the agents, I go to the player and say, hey, bro, listen,
Did you say Asians?
I'm the
Agents.
agents.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Agent.
I'm gonna walk in like Jerry Maguire, and I'm gonna say, "Help me, help you." Okay, I'm gonna make you the most money you've ever made in your life,
Yeah.
but I need you to go out there and do it.
Show
Now,
me.
by the way, Jerry Maguire in the movie told Cuba Gooding Jr. same thing. He said, "Help me, help you. I need you to play with the passion, the love, not for the money, but for the love of it." At the end, when he started producing, what happened?
Showed him the money.
Got him the largest contract he ever had, right? Game changing for his family. Same thing. You
Fue, fue,
walk,
fue, fue.
you walk into a locker room with a briefcase. The briefcase is empty. It has a blank check in it.
Oh.
The agent,
Sweet.
the agent opens it up and says, "This check right here, you can write whatever you want on the check
And as long as you
as
perform,
long as you perform.
it's
Do
there.
the damn thing.
I'm guaranteeing it for you."
Yep.
And by the way, this is what needs to happen. So let's go through. So the Saints take who? Who that nation?
I say the Saints take an offensive weapon. I'm saying wide receiver.
So let me get it straight. Michael Thomas. Who's the second guy? They have Alvin Kamara, and the second guy's good too. Jeez, come on.
I don't know. his
No,
name.
he's good. I'm drawing a blank. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pulling the depth chart up. I actually
Taysom Hill, Michael.
Well, Taysom Hill plays every position.
Yeah, well,
Quarterback,
that's what I'm
wide
saying.
receiver,
But yeah, I mean,
running back,
if they got,
O-line,
if the money went to,
kick return.
he does.
He's
He
literally
is
a
the ultimate
Ar-
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, he is.
The ultimate Swiss Army knife.
Traquan Smith.
Okay,
Traquan,
Traquan
yeah.
Smith. Yeah.
Thank you.
Had a quiet year last year.
Yes,
He
but-
did.
but he's not. He's formidable. He's not bad at all.
So what do you think the Saints go?
So I do think the Saints take a wide receiver.
Okay.
Also, I do. But I'm thinking for different reasons. You want to know why?
Why's that?
When Michael Thomas went down, the offense couldn't score.
Yes, 100%.
That's why I think the Saints I think the Saints anticipate him not being available, and you know what the best quality is for any player, right? It's availability, boys.
Durability. Yep.
So I think that if that's the case, they take a wide receiver there. Next in line, as it's crunch time now, the Green Bay Packers at 29. Who?
I'm thinking defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking defensive tackle.
Yeah.
The guy from Washington, Levy Onwuzurike.
I like it. However you pronounce it, I'm going to agree with it.
Onwuzurike. Levy
But-
Onwuzurike.
I like the pronunciation.
That kid's got a good story, too.
But the front for the Green Bay Packers get at it. I'm not so concerned with that. I think they go into this draft, and it's one of two things. Aaron Rodgers has been crying like a sissy for more weapons, so they
Well, I mean,
they contemplate giving him another weapon.
he has a
or-
valid point, but
Yeah, or they give him some safety help. So
Yeah.
it's one of the two for there. The Buffalo Bills are interesting. What do the Buffalo Bills need? Dude, they're strong, man.
Didn't they sign a wide receiver in the offseason out of Tennessee?
I mean, they have Diggs. They have Diggs out there. They did sign a wide receiver, but Diggs is a stud.
Where did that wide receiver from Tennessee go? Not Corey.
I'm pulling the Bills up right now. Just want to make sure. But the Bills, man, Josh Allen looked great.
Yeah, he's every year.
Emmanuel
He is,
Sanders.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking the Bills go either wide receiver for depth.
What do you think about them taking a running back? Because Devin Singletary did not look great.
I could see that, but
What do you think?
I just
Well, you know my pet peeve with Devin Singletary not looking great. 50% of the time you're running the ball with the quarterback.
yes.
So I mean, a running back does
Product
have
of the
some rhythm
offense, then,
to
you're
it.
saying.
On that
Yeah.
particular
Okay.
offense, yeah, they're running the ball. I mean, he's more
Use-
of a blocker than he is a
Yeah.
running back.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's a good running back. Use him. Run
Absolutely.
that ball with him. Don't just make Josh Allen run the ball 15 times a game and throw the ball 40 times a game, and then you only use Singletary 5 times a game. Like, come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a running back for a reason.
Ravens, is this the second pick? Do they give up both of their first round picks for Julio,
That's right,
or
they have-
or they still from Kansas City, or do they keep this pick?
Remember Miami?
Oh,
did
they
the
just
trade and then
they just
the
traded
trade
Orlando.
back,
They just traded Orlando Brown
Yep.
to the
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
I can
by
see
the
them
way-
giving both
By the way,
first
the
round
Chiefs
picks.
have a sick offensive line now.
Dude, hey, the Chiefs said
I think
Patrick
they're gonna be
Mahomes,
a
you are not
problem.
going to be running around the Super Bowl no more.
I think the Ravens replace it with an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
Well,
I can see
it.
I can see them keeping one of their first round picks.
Tom Brady and the Bucks, they brought everybody back. Where do they go?
Hey, even Antonio Brown.
Best available, whoever
Best
it is.
available.
It doesn't matter what position. I mean, maybe
All right.
maybe a quarterback to mentor under Tom Brady, maybe like some dude out of like I don't know.
Kyle Trask.
Yeah, dude.
Some dude out of Kyle Trask.
Let me tell you something. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get Kyle Trask, I will lose my mind. Because I honestly think if you put Kyle Trask underneath Tom Brady for what, probably 3 more years, you think Tom after that's probably done? I'm just hello Patriots 2.0. That's all I can say.
I mean that's a strong point there. I think the running back from North Carolina, Javonte Williams, I think would be a great pick at this point.
I don't see they have 3 running backs.
No, they got rid of what's his name? No, Roro Jones's contract is done, right?
No, he came back.
Ronald.
Ronald Jones is back.
Ronald Jones, he's back. He's back this year.
All 22 starters are back, and technically Ronald Jones was a starter.
Even
Fournette's back.
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette's back. Ronald Jones is back, and
Sick.
the running back from
Wow.
Vanderbilt. Oh my God, I can't remember his name.
No one cares about him. Nobody knows him but his mom. Guys and girls,
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Wow.
There we go.
guys and girls, we went through our first round mock draft.
Yes, sir.
We even hit basketball for 13 minutes.
Yes.
We went
Thank
through-
you.
we
Thank
went-
you.
we
Let's
went
go
through
Knicks.
baseball.
Let's go Knicks.
We ran through some movies.
Let's go Miami.
We ran through some MCU. It has been an action-packed show. Pat, it was a pleasure having you on. Thanks
Phenomenal,
for coming
Thank,
out,
brother.
brother.
thank you for
Absolutely.
having me, man. This is awesome.
Danny,
Johnny.
you said to me, actually, Pat asked me, what's the itinerary for the show? I said, Pat, no idea. And Danny,
about right.
and Danny said it best. We always eat at PJ's Cafe. A little plug for PJ's
Already
Cafe.
know. We'll put it in late for all those who don't watch the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Why are you looking
You know
at
what
me,
I mean?
man?
I'm just saying.
Why are you looking at me?
Just want to put it out there, bro.
No problem.
It's okay.
And
Still love you.
Yeah, and
I'm feeling it right now.
we Pat was like, "Oh, John said there was no itinerary," and Dan goes, "John always has an itinerary. He just hits me with some rapid fire stuff, and we just
Oh, yeah,
get
I told
rolling."
you.
You got to
I'm
understand.
glad he redirected that to you because
we
left.
we just show up and just know that weekly, it's about going with the flow and really just entertaining everybody who's rocking out with us. So thank you first and foremost for making us your go-to show on Wednesdays from 4 to 6. We love everyone who listens, tunes in. We'll always do our best to go bigger and better.
every
You
week.
definitely
Danny,
went bigger this week.
It was great to see you. Yes.
Great to see you too, John. Great to see Pat.
I'm surprised I fit in this studio. I'll be honest with you.
And
I barely got through the door.
I have to give a shout out to the producer who went out of his way to buy me a special chair.
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely.
And
You know what I mean?
as you can see, size does matter. And
Smoke package.
MSR is
Small
out
guy
of here
in
for
a
6 days
little
and 22 hours.
chair.
6 days, 22 hours. We'll see you next week, folks. Thank you for joining us here on MSR. It has been phenomenal. Radio Mambas.
MSR's out. Catch you
MSR's
later.
out. Yep.
Peace.
You're rocking with the newest radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. It's